Okay.
So, the way that I always tend to start these things off is by asking you guys about, how the last season has gone. Like, because I know that we have next season coming up. So,
So
how do you guys feel like
which
this
last
this
season?
past season went? Season 6.
Yeah, season which season 6?
I mean,
We
if you
had
want to say all three, whatever, however you want to put it.
so 그러니까 season 6 어땠는지.
시즌 6?
6
괜찮았죠.
괜찮았어요.
6.5 그다음에 세미 와이프가 조금 힘들었죠. 사람들한테는.
Yeah, so as he'll say, 6 he thinks went all right, okay.
Not bad.
Not bad.
It was 5 was best, but
Yeah. And then 6.5, yeah, that was pretty rough. And then
6.9.
6.9 was still pretty rough for the players. So, that's the reality of it. So
기다려야
Yeah.
that's our assessment.
What do you think, chat? Would you guys agree? Audio very quiet, dude. I mean, like they are just as loud as I am now. I'm looking at the meter, and they are within like 2 dB of me.
형이 문제인 것 같아요.
이거 왔다 갔다 한데?
I am also quiet. Promos. There,
okay.
you know that there's a little like volume adjustment that you can make in Windows to like turn the volume up so that you can hear better, right? Should maybe try using that.
그냥 크게 하면 될 것 같아요.
네. 아마 이게 좀 고장 난 것 같아요.
Love you, baby. Love you. Love you. Kiss, kiss. All right. So the last season, you feel like the start of the season wasn't as good. Maybe midway through the wipe when you guys did the semi, it was a little bit better. Do you guys feel like the decline in player count ended up having an effect on like your the decision making processes that you made like throughout the season? Because there was a lot of change, right? Like there was a lot of things that got taken away. A lot of queues got removed, and the player base kind of shrunk pretty bad from all of that.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, so, in terms of having this effect on the decision making, I would probably say no. Is
Okay.
that, we knew that these are going to be very, very, dramatic and controversial changes, and so, internally we kind of predicted, hey, this is what's going to happen when we make these kind of changes. But for us, internally, we had to go through that because we're trying to figure out stuff, and so to get to the meat of everything, it's like, oh, okay, we didn't have a magic ball, so that was kind of just for us. It was a cost. It was a very, very heavy cost. I think now that we went through that process and we have that kind of learning from it, it really does suck that we had to go through that, and most of that, a lot of that impact was to the community, but in terms of it affecting the way decision making was done, I would say it's kind of the opposite. It's like we knew we had to make these decisions, and then we knew that this is the likely fallout, or
So you kind of anticipated it, you think?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
It actually, internally, we thought it was probably going to be worse than the actual. So
Right. So you think that even though the player base dropped off, it wasn't as bad as you thought it was going to be?
Precisely.
Okay. In terms of player feedback and what people have been thinking about the wipe and whatnot, I know that you guys have put out a lot of feelers, way more so than previous. As of late, it feels like you're asking people more and more what they think. Do you feel like you're accounting for the players and their feedback more now than you used to, or is it about the same?
Funny. I would say it's the same. I'm
그런
looking.
느낌이죠. 네.
Yeah. So for you know, what yeah, I would say it hasn't really changed. So, well, you know, the good and bad is probably the same.
Okay. Um, this is probably going to be a difficult question to answer, but since
Fine.
since so many players did end up leaving, and now it's like based on your own statements, it sounds like you have a direction that you know that you want to move in now, and how you want the game to be, I guess, structured. So, do you guys have a plan on how to bring back some of those old players that feel frustrated about how things went with this season toward the beginning? And if so, like what kind of a plan do you have for that?
이제 없는 사람들 다시 또 데려오는 계약이 있는지.
그 사람들은 쉽게 돌아오지 않을 거예요. 그래서 그거는 뭐 메인 포인트는 저는 아니고요.
Yeah, so you're saying, instead of saying it's, it's going to be a difficult task to get those people to come back. So that, we don't have like a specific plan just targeted for those people.
그냥
Yeah.
잘 하는 거죠, 계속.
Yeah. So the main plan is just is as simple as this: we just got to do a good job. We have to rebuild that kind of trust, that the goodwill that was kind of shattered, right? So that's just is the only way to do that is just keep on just going forward step by step. It's not like
네, 마법 같은 길은 없는 거죠.
yeah, there's no magical wand that we could wave to say, oh, this is how we're gonna bring it back. So it's just okay now. We feel like we figured out a core component of the game that was kind of fuzzy, and so just build it slowly, rebuild trust. That's the only way, right? So it's not like, hey, season 6, there's all this, uh, crazy, I don't know, sexy marketing stuff that we could do. It's just like, okay, these are things that we wanted to do in the past, because we had that kind of roadblock in front of us, like kind of that mental block in front of us, until we couldn't click, until we, we're kind of stagnant, right? And it's like, okay, now that that's cleared up, it's just moving forward again. That's it. So yeah, it's not like a real sexy answer or anything, but
yeah,
that's just the reality of it.
Do you think that you guys have a firm grasp on what it was that made a lot of the player base not want to play the game when they left?
Oh, I mean, yeah, because there's multiple reasons, right? But one of the big reasons is like, hey, we gave you a bunch of stuff, and then we started taking it away, right? It's not, I mean, no one's going to be happy about that, right? It was for us, we're trying to figure out the difference between signal and noise, right? And we got to a point where it was so confusing. It's like, hey, not take anything as an assumption, even though we think, oh, yeah, this is signal. This should be something. We wanted to take it out of the equation for sure to check it, right? And so that's for sure. That's kind of make a lot of people angry, right? I think some of those things were because they're so core and essential. Is like, hey, this is one of the main reasons you came to the game, and then all of a sudden, hey, sorry,
Yeah. No, I agree. I think it was a lot of the back and forth, right? Like everybody kind of called it like flip flopping. You had you have adjustments that get made where it's like you add 2 points and then you take the same 2 points away, and you did that 5 times, right? Or at one point in time you stripped almost all of the stats off of all of the armor, right? And then when that didn't really go so great, and then you did it a second time, right? So I think a lot of that came down to people just kind of going like, okay, well, what are we doing? But I do think that you're right. Like, building the game that you want to build. I think most people, in the player base, want you guys to build the game that you want to build. But whatever that game is, we just want you to stick to whatever that roadmap is supposed to be. And I think a lot of the players just got to the point where they felt like they were being missold something. Like when solos got taken away, for instance, people bought the game because they wanted to be solo players, and then that really wasn't something they could do anymore. So that kind of stuff makes people nervous, right? And they have every reason to be that.
We agree, yeah. So
yeah,
and I think they're people refusing to play the game. That's their way of showing us. So it's their rights, right? So and we understand that. But for us, was like because I think there's because of the complexities of all the systems that we put in, and there's a lot of stuff that that was put in that we thought we put some foresight into, and then we put it in, and when it's actually running in the machine, right, it's like, oh wait, there's all these side edge cases that side effects, right? And so you're wondering, it's like, oh, okay, how connected is it to these kind of big systems, or how much impact? And that's the stuff that we really we have an idea about, but again, these are all assumptions, and for us it's like, oh, okay, we want to kind of really get down down to the roots. Is this really and the thing is, we'll be the first to admit a lot of time we're like, yeah, you guys were right, but for us is we're kind of dense and thick-headed.
You just need to check.
Yeah, but we needed to check it, right? So
yeah,
so
I think
the thing is,
I think the big problem that you guys ran into was that you had people that bought into wanting to play an early access title that for all intents and purposes, most people when they buy into early access titles, they are under the assumption that the game is more or less fleshed out, right? And then it turned into more of an active test bed, and that's not what people had bought.
No, so yeah, I think we did a kind of a internal postmortem too. It's like that was one of the big mistakes, is that kind of what is it, disconnect for us with the expectations of what early access is, because the expectation for early access has also evolved too, from
right
originally. I actually had a talk with all our wardens, and this is precisely the explanation. Is like, dude, one of our biggest mistakes with 6.5 is like, hey, we're our expectation is we wanted to run because again, making this kind of game with this kind of complexity is way more difficult than it's a difficult endeavor, right? And so it's like, hey, sometimes we luck out and we get really lucky, and oh, this system seems to be perfect, but then down the line it's like, oh wait, there's all these other side effects that we didn't realize, and it's like, oh, did we really get lucky or not? And so for us, it's like, that's our personality, we have to check it out. And maybe we were just a little bit too nonchalant with, oh, it's an early access, so we can test this out. And so that kind of mismatch of expectation is a big part of it too, right? So
right,
yeah. But for us, it's like, hey, to make this game and to make get it to the next level is like, if we the people making it don't have the proper deep level understanding, is like, then it gets dangerous for everyone.
이 게임 너무 복잡해요.
Yeah, so you say, it's so complex, right?
Right. Speaking of the complexity, do you guys feel happy with the current status of the balance in the game, or?
Yeah, so SCF is very, he's really happy. Yeah.
Now I have my own balance per team.
Yeah, so he has
they're working hard.
Yeah, so I think that's the thing, is like, you promise there's a bunch of rework and rebalancing of a lot of the perks that's coming up. Yeah, and
I have a question about that here too. But currently, you guys feel like you're pretty happy with how the balance is in the game. Is that for all team sizes, or are we talking like just in terms of trios?
Well, so on the overall side is we're much happier. We're it's like,
이렇게 설명해야 될 것 같아요. 그러니까 튜닝할 건 엄청 많은데
so there's
중요한 건 그게 아니고 우리가 이제 그 스파인 뼈대를
Yeah.
제대로 만들었다는 거, 우린 그렇게 생각하고 있다는 거고, 그 안에서 이제 우리가 그러니까 정확하게는 우리가 흔들리고 있던 것들, 막 고민하고 있던 것들이 좀 다 해결됐으니까
Yeah.
앞으로
So
이제 편해진 거죠.
yeah, so what he's saying is like the balance right now is not it's not perfect, right? Because there's so many things that we still have to tune. The reason we're feeling satisfied and confident now is that the stuff that was the question marks, that's all gone now. So we have a spine for the backbone for what we want to build for the balance, and that's what we're building upon right now. So that's what we're saying is like, oh, it feels good in terms of having that kind of spine. There's little spikes everywhere, right? Still, and those are the things that we
Right.
have to continue. Whereas before was like, hey, we didn't that spine itself was really shaky, and there was things that were just sticking out, and for us, it was like, oh, okay, why is this sticking out? Do we just that's why there was that just kind of never-ending revolving doors, changing numbers. It's like, oh, trying to put in one spot, one spike, and then another one comes up somewhere else, right?
Yeah.
So
Okay. So in that same vein, I know that there was a comment that SDF made recently in a streamer's chat that said that there was like over 50 adjustments that are being made or changes, whatever, to perks and skills and abilities and spells. Does that mean that there's going to be just changes to the existing ones, or does that mean that classes are going to have like things added to them? Could you guys give us an idea of what that looks like?
so it's a multi-phase. So the first phase right now is because we have so previously the balancing was pretty much mostly just SDF, right?
Right. And you
So
said that now there's a team of people instead?
so yeah, so there's another now we have another person that's working
네.
on the main balance right now.
그러니까 예전에는 문제가
Okay.
그거였어요. 그러니까 혼자 모든 걸 검증할 수 없기 때문에 뭐 그 한계가 있었고,
Yeah,
그러니까
so
지금은 이제 그걸 같이 해줄 사람들이 생겼기 때문에 훨씬 퀄리티가 올라갔을 거죠.
yeah, so the big difference was previously it was that huge load was just mainly on one person SCF, right? And there's
Right.
a limit to what he could do by himself. Right now, because he has multiple people that can assist him on the side, is that just the overall quality and in terms of I guess speed is like again, you guys, it's multi-phase. So this first time is gonna be we're starting off with some of the underused perks. The goal is to start adding new ones. It's gonna be piece by piece. Yeah.
I'm running a poll right now to see if Chad thinks whether or not the headshot multiplier is too high. Because that's one of those balance questions that we have.
So SDF agrees. It's a little bit high, right? But right now
Okay.
it's like, hey, that's
확인해볼 거 좀 더 있어서.
yeah. There's a couple more stuff that he wants to confirm here.
아마 다음 시간에 헤드샷 모디파이어가 있을 거예요.
Yeah, and so one of the things is to we're investigating is making better and more creative use of like a headshot modifier, reduction, and stuff like that.
Not just reduction.
Okay.
Not just reduction.
Yeah, it looks like
Modifier,
most of chat
yeah.
agrees with you because right now it's like 80% of the people in chat are saying that it's too high. So, yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
it's
근데-
not gonna really. Yeah, I think so. This is the main direction we're gonna continue exploring. So it's not. Yeah, don't expect a big change at the start of the next season.
왜냐면 그게 없으면 그냥 기어 브라켓이 훨씬 많이 필요하고 그냥
Yeah.
플레이오에서 더 많이 나눠줘야 돼요. 지금은
Yeah.
그게 그걸 억제할 수 있는 유일한 도구인 거예요.
Yeah. So the one of the big things that we learned through going through that kind of roller coaster was that this is one of our tools to reduce the amount of gear brackets is to have a bigger
Actually, matchmaking pool.
yeah and reduce the amount of matchmaking pools that we have to support, which also reduces the quality of matches with there's a certain amount of pools that we can support with our population, right? And I think
Right.
internally we're saying, hey, we have to over rely on the headshot multiplier right now because of the current size of the population. We've also discovered other tools that actually help us on the other side. It's like, oh, make more efficient use of the population size, and you know how many matchmaking pools we could support. So as that starts to, we get a little bit more freedom there, then we have more more room to start dialing in the hedgehog modifier. But right now, because of the the limited amount of gear brackets, gear pools that we could support, is that there it is slightly overtuned to have a bigger impact.
네, 근데 지금이 뭐 완벽한 상태라는 이야기는 절대 아니고요.
Yeah, so he's saying it's not perfect by any means, right? But this is the reality of like where we feel like, okay, this is an acceptable range for us right now.
Okay. So going into like next season, right? Could you
Yeah.
guys give us a really like brief list of the things that you're planning on including in next season? I mean, obviously we have the water map, but are there anything? Is there anything else like major that you're also including in this next patch?
할까요?
일단
좀
그냥 비밀로 할 건데요.
Okay.
네,
So
그거
there's a
그냥,
secret thing we do want to keep it.
그냥 하나
Yeah, so
네, 던져 박살 날 수도 있어요. 그래서 그게 좀 걱정이 되긴 하는데
완전 박살 왜요?
뭐 이제 밸런스를 아직 완벽하게 못 잡았으니까 그래서 우리가 조금 익스페리멘탈 피처 하나 있고
Oh yeah. So there's a new experimental feature that's gonna go in. That's a little bit of secret. I mean,
네, 뭐 일단 그래서 테스트는 해봐야 돼요.
that will probably cause a pretty big upheaval and might just destroy
The dungeons or
the dungeon experience.
they having so much fun.
Yeah, it's gonna be kind of like a all or no, I don't we gotta try it out.
뭐
But
players can feel a lot of potential, I think.
yeah, so okay. Yeah, it's not fair because so it's not just the water map. There's another feature that it's the teaser for something we want to really explore going forward, right? And so your feedback here is good too.
얘기하긴 했었는데.
And yeah, STF has talked about this in the past multiple times. There was a
네, 그리고 조금 아쉬운 거는 이제 게더링홀이 아직 우리가
Yeah.
원하는 시간에 맞추기 힘들 거예요. 그래서 이번에는 시즌 시작하고 같이 제공되지는 않을 거고.
Yeah, and then the big thing that the kind of heavy heart for us to announce that STF just said right now is that the Gathering Hall, we wanted to have it at the start of this season, but it's gonna come later on in the season because this is not ready still. Yeah, so that's unfortunate, but that's
Sorry, guys.
yeah, he's saying sorry. We're sorry. So
All right.
Yeah.
So the social spaces are getting delayed.
yes.
Okay.
네,
Do we have
하지만 그 시즌 안에 보여주는 거를 최대한 목표로 할 거고요.
Yeah, but then the goal is still to do it within the season. So I mean,
Okay.
there's some real life logistics stuff, personal stuff like that. I don't want. There's a health reason that's involved here too, and then but the goal is to do it in the because so much of it is built up, and we're like, oh, okay, but it's just not fully ready for prime time on the technical side. And so it's like, oh, that just needs a little bit more time. And we think we could get the preview version ready pretty soon. But there's like, once the wipe comes out, actually in Korea, we have the biggest like vacation. So we're going to, let people go on vacation, recover, come back, and then polish that up and then push that out.
Okay. So I guess I can kind of just go down the list and you guys can ask or you guys can answer whether or not certain things are going to be included. So for the water map,
let's do that.
For the water map that's
Yes.
starting, is that map going to be randomized like the other maps are, or is it going to be like a set layout?
Oh, so
랜덤맵이 아니죠, 지금은.
yeah, so it's gonna be a selectable map
It'll be a
it's, you know,
selectable map in HR2,
So
No,
in HR, so in
or is it
HR,
going to go onto the like
it's
random
not going to
pond?
be included in the matchmaking pool for HR. So, you know, HR uses the random matchmaking or random pool of
Right.
dungeons, right?
Right.
Yeah. So we actually, you know, we could weight it. If we weighted at 0 right now, is because you know, the circle, the HR maps have the
Right.
the circle mechanic.
네.
And so the circle mechanic on the water map is still being tuned. It does if
네, 그리고 이제
Okay.
워터맵을 V0.1이니까요. 아직 우리 기준으로.
yeah. So he's looking at it still, you know, it's an early version. It's that there's still going to be a lot of tuning to do, and so it's
I
going
mean-
to be selectable as a normal map.
Secondarily, we could just not have a BR circle.
Oh yeah, 그 circle 이제 빼는 거. But
아, 글쎄요. 그거는 안 빠질 것 같아 당분간은.
yeah, he's saying that's
상관없을 거예요.
probably not going to get removed.
Okay. All right. I tried, boys. I tried. I'm trying.
That's yeah.
You
Yeah,
pull the circle.
Okay, no, so SCF does say he's like, oh, it's still always under consideration. 그냥 영상 드릴까요? 덥더래요.
너 해도 돼요.
Oh yeah. I'll have one of the admins put up a poll for the circle and see if you guys want to remove
Oh,
it.
wait, we're gonna. I mean, so I feel like, you know, some of the nuances of our interactions are being missed out. So I think you can see us.
Hey, there they are.
You know, there's a bit of back and forth between us too. So
No problem.
yeah,
We can
I
see
think
you.
we could do the chat could do the meme of how many times SDF and
Sips from his water.
I'm-
Yeah.
yeah, everyone's super drunk today, right?
People thought that SDF was just trying to sip from an empty cup at one point.
He 계속
No,
he's gonna get more.
He's got to get more water.
So he'll be right back. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So
Okay.
Obviously it was a question of whether or not the map was going to be randomized. The second question was since we saw the whale floating around in the ocean, I was going to ask if we were going to name that whale Party Chip, but also if we could kill the whale or not.
No,
What do you say?
그 고래 있잖아요. 고래 이름을 파티칩이라고.
Okay.
So we haven't decided on any canon name for the whale yet. Can you 그 고래 죽일 수 있는지? Yeah, you can't kill the whale. Right?
You can't kill the whale? Well, Party Chip never dies in the dungeon either, so I guess that fits.
Well, I mean, those ideas were, you know, going around inside, but it's just like, man, there's so many other stuff that we're still building. And I was like, oh, okay, let's talk about this later.
But there are going to be neutral mobs, right? Like passive, non-aggressive, like fish and stuff.
Yeah, there's some of those. Yeah.
Yeah. Can we kill them?
Yeah.
Do they drop stuff?
Some,
maybe.
some, yeah.
Okay. Can
Like,
we use that? Can we use those parts to make things like cooking?
Not yet.
Not yet.
All right.
Yeah, fishing and
I
cooking
tried.
not yet.
Yeah.
I tried, boys. I tried.
Yeah. No, yeah. Fishing and cooking is not in the game. We'll be upfront. Like,
그러니까 이번에는 물이라는 개념을 게임에 가져오는 것 자체가 엄청난 일이었기 때문에 그거 구현하느라 엄청난 많은
yeah.
시간이
So I think so. The reason why is again, all of this we know. We forged everyone's goodwill, right? So like whatever we're saying, could ignore, take it with a grain of salt. But I just, you know, giving an explanation is for anyone that is interested is that, you know, we worked on the water mechanic, and man, it was a super challenging. Like we totally underestimated, but it's kind of like we feel like we made medieval Subnautica.
And still
We're like, man, do we really need to do that? But then now it's now it's fleshed out, or it's getting fleshed out. It's like, oh yeah, it's actually it's a new experience. But I think we definitely underestimated just getting underwater, swimming, all of that to feel good. So
I'm turning all the ads off. I forgot that the ad run was gonna. I told chat that there was gonna be an ad run that was gonna start, but I turned off the rest of them. Okay. All right, yeah. Chad, vote on the poll. There should be a poll up. Okay. So we already talked about social spaces. Is the plan for the social spaces whenever they're ready still going to be that they're going to have a monthly cost to them?
그 비용.
지금은 뭐 그런 고민들인데 일단 테스트를 해봐야 돼요. 얼마나 비용이 나오는지
Yeah.
확인해 봐야 되고.
So it's we have to test it. Like the reason why is if we give free reign it's the server costs are pretty substantial, right? And so right now we have certain tools internally to control it, right? Is once we put it out with the gathering hall, it's like, dude, we just give you all that control over to players, right? And so I think we have to figure out the right mechanic that makes that balance of like, oh, okay, this is it's something that's sustainable business wise, right? So
right.
Yeah, that's just kind of the reality of renting out servers for us.
Okay. Yeah, because I mean, I feel like the community is probably going to give a bunch of pushback on that, but I mean,
yeah,
you guys have to do it the way that you're going to do it. I mean, and if they don't want it, I guess they don't pay for it, and they
so it's basically yeah. So I think,
will there be like any added benefit to it, like people being able to set up like custom lobbies to fight each other, or like custom games in there that you can play against your friends? Like, is there any of that stuff going on too, or is it really just going to be like a social hub where people can like stare at each other like VR chat or something?
Well, so again, this is putting our foot in our mouth because we're going to start saying stuff that we haven't done yet, right? Is like those are all the stuff that has that potential that we want to that's why we're starting this. This is the origin point for being able to offer stuff like that in the future, right? But
right.
The starting point is going to be, you have to start somewhere. It's going to be, hey, in the beginning you're staring. So yeah, the onus is on us to, if we're going to charge that server fee, is like, hey,
yeah, you have to provide value.
Provide that value. And I think, yeah, that's going to be a tricky part for us in the beginning, is like, oh, yeah, maybe in terms of gameplay stuff, is that it's not kind of, but then, that gives us a challenge. It's like, hey, we have to keep on building this up until after a certain point. Okay, people get to decide with their wallets, right? So.
Right. I mean, yeah. Okay. Arena rewards for people that get high ranks. Will that be coming in this season, do you think?
다음 주에 트라이 해보고 싶어요. 그러니까 이제 아레나도.
Okay, so being again full disclosure, it's not made yet. Right?
아직 우리가 타이틀 시스템 못 들었으니까.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, in fairness, we never saw any of like the end of season rewards for the current season when we were doing the leaderboard grind for the HR leaderboard until like in some cases like 3 weeks before the end of the season anyway. So is there like a plan to have them by the end of like say season 7, or is that not really on the like list of things to do?
For Arena, or you're saying that
for Arena?
HR, Arena, yeah. So again,
이번 시즌 no way.
The Arena, yeah. So there's no way.
Okay.
So
레귤러 시작할 때 아마 있을 거예요.
이 season, 그러니까 season 7.
In season 7, not this season. In season 7.
Okay. Yeah, EA season 7.
We're talking about season 7.
I'll be realistic. It's like, hey, don't expect it
Okay.
this season. Yeah,
Maybe, but not likely.
yeah. I mean, so
Okay.
the other reason why is
생각해보면
there's a lot of stuff to do, and then the real reason is that one of the big rewards that we want to tie in with arenas is titles, and that system is still in backlog, right? So then you're just gonna get like cosmetic. What makes the difference between like the rewards in arena and like all the other
Right.
adventure
Okay.
ranks and stuff.
This is a question I ask every time. Quivers and backpacks.
Yeah, so that's actually my job next season. So
Okay.
아마 만들기
I'm the new quiver guy. Okay,
All right. So we blame Terry, Chet. All right.
if it doesn't come out, yeah,
Terry is now quiver guy.
he literally last week he's like, hey, you're the quiver guy. That's
All right.
that's what he told me. You're the quiver backpack guy.
Okay.
I said okay.
Is the plan
But
for
that's
is the
next-
plan for quivers and backpacks still going to be tied to like resourcefulness with how much you can carry or
Yeah,
how big of
yes.
a container? Okay.
So that was
That's the
the
main plan.
that's the reason. So the reason that came is all there's all the other stuff, but on top of that, it's because he was working with the balancing guys, right?
Okay.
And another big issue with our on the balancing side is that
resourcefulness.
the primary stats they don't all have equal weights, right? Like
Right.
basically no one cares about resourcefulness, right? And so it's like, oh, that makes it a bigger challenge for the balance team too. For
Probably
like,
sorcerer is the only one.
So because of that, is like, hey, he's like, we need quivers, backpacks, because that's gonna make resourcefulness a little bit more, gives it a little bit more weight. That's your job, yeah.
Right.
But that's the background history on that. So again, but it's not gonna come out in the middle of the season. It's for I'll work on it, and it'll come out in the subsequent season.
Okay. All right. Here's another one. So we've seen a lot of recoloring of the same character models for reward skins, right? Like I think there's like 5 or 6 variants of zombie skin. Are we going to see any new model types this coming season for cosmetics?
Yeah.
Because I know you had the gator,
For-
like you had the gator guy or whatever.
alligator?
That was teased.
했나 봐요. Yeah. So the Gators coming in. Yeah, that's the new one.
그리고
I think we're trying to do it. Each season we want to have a new model type, right? So
Okay. Okay. So here's another one. Regarding the DLC package that people paid for, there was an awful lot of people that did not like that. It wasn't so much that there was a pay for advantage. It's that the pay for advantage they got for the storage option was temporary. On top of like the purists that don't like any pay to win stuff, and I have a tendency to agree with them. Are there any plans to change how that goes next season? Is there going to be another paid package?
Yeah.
How is that going to work?
So okay.
캐릭터 슬롯 애디셔널 캐릭터 슬롯이 없을 거고.
Yeah. So okay.
마켓플레이스 애디셔널 슬롯도 없을 거고.
Yeah. So the DLC. So okay, we messed up. Yeah, big time. We on the DLC pack that this season. So the next season is so the extra shares stash that's gonna be there, right? Because I just want personally I wanted the extra maybe I'm a pay to dude, yeah, this is a revelation. Maybe
Wait, Terry's a pay pig?
Yeah,
Oh,
because
shit.
I needed that extra cash. Yeah. But it's like I think we're gonna remove like the consumables stuff, and the big thing. This is where the complaint too is like, oh, it's kind of like the mobile games where it's like in your face, like, oh, so okay, yeah, that's all valid criticism.
I think it's hard to run it,
We're
but I
trying to
love
remove
Dan,
all that.
so please continue to do your best.
So we're removing that, the extra character slot. The big mistake we did was like with the marketplace is like, we changed the structure of the marketplace, so it made it more inconvenient for people that want, and then added in fake convenience with the DLC, right? So like that's all gone. So basically, you can't buy any of that kind of convenience.
네,
So that's all removed. So the I guess like the product area for the DLC now is gonna be just a bundle package for
new skins and
cosmetics. Yeah,
Just-
and
just
so you
your
get a
special.
bunch of really high quality cosmetics, and a bunch of them. Plus, because of me, you got the pay is with that the shared stash for the season, right? That's just like but the big push here is time exclusive cosmetics for
그래서
the
그 얘기하고 싶어요. 그러니까
set price.
저는
$9.
개인적으로 그런 것들 되게 싫어해서 모바일 스톱 같은 것들 되게 싫어해서 다 빼고 싶어서 뺐잖아요. 근데
Yeah.
매출은 좀 줄어들 거예요.
Yeah.
어쩔 수 없이.
So the thing is, he is like he hates those kind of mobile games, like so he always, and so that's why. So even the backstory on the DLC 6 was like, hey, do we really have to do that? And then I was like, this will result in more revenue. And I was like, okay, I trust your judgment. And he probably shouldn't have trusted my judgment at that time.
네, 근데
And so
레베뉴는 그래서 잘 나왔지만
yeah.
그래서 이번에 이제 그것들 다 빼니까 아마 효과가 좀 줄어들 거고.
So yeah, so his saying is like, okay, yeah, we're removing some of that kind of functional convenience. So we do he foresees some reduction in revenue, but I don't actually, because I think the replacing that with the cosmetic bundles, and some of these cosmetics are really really good, and value wise is going to be really good. So again, it's up to it's your choice now. If you really can't live without that one stash, that's on me. Okay, the shared stash.
근데
But beyond that, it's just-
유도하는 기능들이 다 빠졌으니까
Yeah.
아마 어쩔 수 없이 줄어들 거고 그게 우리한테 타격은 조금 있을 거예요. 근데 뭐 그거는 뭐 다른 더 잘하면 돼. 다른 걸 더 잘하면 되니까.
So yeah, there's the shared stash. That's it, and the rest of it, the DLC is cosmetics now.
Okay, so it's a shared stash tab, and then the rest of it is just cosmetic items, like reskins.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so
Well, are the skins temporary?
It's not reskins.
not like skins.
No, so okay, yeah, there is a. Oh, okay. So there's a lobby. The lobby.
Lobby skins.
Okay, so it's like a
Lobby
lobby
skin.
background kind of thing. All those things are going to be permanent, though, right? I mean, it's not going to be like.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah. So this is just think of it like DLC bundle pack with the with a season contextually thematically matching season set of cosmetics,
Okay.
and then because of me, plus that shared stash. Okay.
Okay.
For
So it's
$9
like
or
the new season. There's like it's like a cosmetic bundle, and then there's a stash tab.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
The stash tab is still seasonal. That's the one thing that's seasonal. And
Okay.
that's yeah.
Are you guys going to be doing Twitch drops in the new season?
Yes,
Yeah.
there's going to be a Twitch. So
Okay.
because now we've learned how to do that and we brought it in house, is that hey, now it's like a process. So
Okay.
we're planning to do it like each season.
All right. For the new season, is there going to be another couple of weeks of self-found at the beginning, or is it just going to be like a regular one?
I think so we were talking about this 2 days ago. It's like, hey, we're pretty we felt like that the start of this season with the 2 weeks felt pretty good. So I think that's the plan, is we're going to do the first 2 weeks of this season. If it goes well again, I think this is just going to end up being, hey, that's an event that happens at the start of every season. So we'll see. Yeah.
Okay. So you're thinking that you're going to do self-found for the first 2 weeks again?
Yes.
Okay. Do we have a wipe date?
Yeah. I think we announced it the 23rd.
It's still the 23rd.
Yeah.
UTC
Okay.
제로.
그 시간에서 정확히 할까? 아니잖아요. No. Yeah. Sometime next Tuesday is the wipe is gonna, the new season will start.
Okay. And you mean like next Tuesday GMT, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's what he's saying, but it's not gonna be precisely at that time.
Okay.
Like we're still there's
Like
our bug list
by
is-
midnight GMT on the 23rd.
That is our goal. You know how.
Yeah.
You know our track record, so I'm not gonna say.
Well,
much
at
about
least you
it.
guys are self-aware,
There's
you know.
There should be some problem.
Is the demigod grind going to start on day 1 of the new season, or will that be delayed?
So we to do this. So this is something we're considering, but
Thinking of it.
yeah, like I think one thing we learned with the semi wipe 6.9 was like, hey, having everything start at the first week, or was like, it's just like it might feel maybe too overwhelming, but at the same time, I was like, oh wow, there's so much stuff for me to do. And I was like, oh, maybe we might want to lean into that. So this is something that we're still thinking about. It's like, oh, when to start the adventure rank season. And I think one of the improvements this time is people are asking for. We're gonna combine the solo, duo, trio, adventure rank leaderboard.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that, because there's no point in having the 3 separate brackets if no one loses any points when they die. So
yeah. And then that's kind of a vestige from when when we first started, it was tied. Each solo was tied to Goblin Caves, right?
Right.
So duos is tied to ruins, and we never got around to streamlining the leaderboard system on the back end. That was all streamlined during season 6. So it was like, oh wow, we could just change a couple stuff easily and merge this stuff. And so now we have that ability to do it. We're gonna do it. Yeah.
Okay, so solo, duo, trio leaderboard brackets are going to all be merged.
Yeah.
And then it's just going to be points.
Solos will still play with solos. On the
Right.
high
Yeah,
roller,
you're still going to have the
but-
separate brackets, but all the points will be just aggregate.
Yeah, aggregate.
Okay.
We know it's not going to be perfect right now. It's just, hey, get this out there because the system works. It's that we know, like, balance wise, people in solo are still getting more. We'll address this later on.
Okay. Chat, there's a poll up for removing the circle or not. Vote, please. Thank you.
That's-
Just
If
so that
wanna
you guys know, like, it's 86% remove the circle right now.
But I really like the soccer.
Yeah, but SDF really likes the circle, so
I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying.
yeah, I know.
Okay. For HR, there's a lot of confusion around like what is considered teaming and what is not considered teaming. Like if you have somebody that just wants to be social, or like hand somebody a potion, or a cleric walks over and like heals some random guy that's like really struggling, is that going to get them banned, or is this like a case by case basis thing?
like 그 폴리시는 HR는 아직도
네, 팀이 안 되죠. 네.
그래서 누가 포션만 줘도 그거 뺀.
아, 포션 주는 거 가지고 변하지는 않죠.
Yeah.
그러니까 근데 되게 어려운 문제예요. 그래서
Yeah.
그러니까 어쨌든 이 문제는 사실 너무 애매한 라인들이 많아서. 근데 어쨌든 우리가 확실하게 안 된다라고 하고 있는 건 같이 싸우는 거를 안 된다고 하고 있는 거. 기본적으로는. 근데
So yeah,
HR은 그냥 기본적으로 프렌들리도 다 안 되니까 서로 스쳐 지나가는 것까지는 괜찮아도.
So yeah, the
되게 어려운
reality
문제예요.
of it is that hey, there's so many, just that gray area is so big. Our policy is, hey, you're not even supposed to be an inkling of friendliness in the HR, right? It is kind of that hardcore, just PR kind of.
그래서 정말로 원하는 거는 이제 그렇게 하는 게
But you have
베네핏이
it. You
없게
have
하고
it.
싶은데.
But you have an in-game
Yeah.
VoIP system where people can talk to each other, and you have guys that want to like be funny and like RP and like act like idiots, and make friends if they can make friends, try and do like charisma checks and all that other shit. So like, not everybody wants to just be a hyper sweat, but they still want to end up doing the harder content. You know what I mean? So you're kind of telling like a bunch of the player base not to like, to go against their nature and like not act like, and they have to be sweaty all the time. It's just not how people are.
yeah, but the thing is, again, these are the clash of identity. It's like, hey, we want to give people what they want, but at the same time, we can't offer everything to everyone, right? And so I think that's the thing with like HR is, our design is what we're trying to design is that is where you're supposed to be the sweaty,
Sweaty
like
space.
not, yeah. And then now we're trying to make it more where normal.
Sorry, my bad. You know what? My bad, chat. My bad. You know what? You guys are absolutely right. I'm sorry. It should be about the enjoyment of people that only want to PvP like as aggressive as possible. I take it back. No one else should be able to have fun. My fault. My bad, guys. My bad. All right. So punishing teaming in HR. That's really
Yeah,
it.
punishing teaming. So yeah, our stated policy up there is not to be friendly in our HR, right? So if you want to do more of that role playing, charisma check is that's what normal is for,
Okay. All right. On to legal stuff, and then I got a bunch of community questions. So SDF, when I talked to SDF yesterday, he said that any like legal related questions about the court case and stuff were on the table, and we could ask whatever. So, so the question, I guess, the main question I have for you guys is where is stuff with the appeal right now, in court? Because like we've seen like news articles and like Korean blog entries and all that kind of stuff, but obviously that isn't coming from you guys. So how do you guys see it going at the moment?
그냥
status update.
네, 그냥 다 설명해줘도 될 것 같아요. 근데
네,
지금
그래서-
사람들이 조금 오해하고 있는 거는 그 해외 쪽 위키들 보면 뭐 우리가 실제로 뭘 가지고 와서 했다 이런 식으로 나오는데 그게 아니라 지금 뭐 기억에 의존해서 뭔가를 뭐 썼다 이런 내용이고
Yeah.
지금 1심에서 판결이
Okay.
나온 게. 그러니까 그걸 좀 잘 설명해줘. 그러니까 카피라이트 그다음에 unfair competition,
Okay,
설명.
so he wants to clear up some of the
조금 clear up.
misconceptions, but that in terms, 그러니까 원팩 첫 번째 질문은 그냥 이제 지금 스테이터스는 뭔지, 그러니까
아 지금은 이제 항소심 하고 있는 거죠.
Yeah.
열심히.
그러니까 뭐
서로 어필하고 있는 거죠.
yeah, so we're right now we're in the appeals process, right? So I think it started in May, the appeals, so both parties were unsatisfied with the first decision, right? So next, and they were unsatisfied because they're like, oh, hey, so there's three big charges, right? So the court cases are three charges. The first one is copyright infringement. The second one is there's a specific law in Korea called unfair business practices, and then the last one was trade secrets. Okay. So the first two are the kind of really serious ones for us. Is that's the ones that the consequence is they could take down the service of the game, right? Is for copyright infringement or for unfair business practices. And so on these two, the court found in our favor, right? And it's like 80-page decision. Unfortunately, that's still private. It was only sent out to the parties, but it's just basically 64 pages of like why they decided that way. And it's like for us, we thought, oh, this is a overwhelming victory for us, right? And so that's why the game's still running. The last one, so their side appealing because they wanted to get the service taken down, right? And so they're appealing the first two. It's like, oh, they think there's still copyright infringement. We don't know where, and there's some kind of business unfair business practice, right? The reason we're appealing is because on the trade secret side, they've made us pay damages, right? Because on trade secrets, so the trade secrets, it was split into two parts, right? So there's trade secrets materials and then trade secrets information. So on the material side, it's like, hey, is there any concrete kind of, like documents, code, whatever, right? So if we use any documents, or if we had that and used it, then we would be in violation of that. If we had like actual code and used it, that would actually violate trade secrets, materials, and actual copyright. Again, all of this, even on trade secrets materials, all of that were exonerated, right? So it's basically hey, the game, none of that stuff was used. We didn't find any of this stuff. So, there's no evidence for any of that being, any part of Dark and Darker. The thing that the court found against us is that, hey, they must have violated trade secrets information, right? So it's like, oh, and so, the information is like specific kind of maybe like data. But what they're saying is that, first of all, again, there's no actual documents or anything. It's like, oh, it's the conceptual plans and the concepts and the combination of concepts that's in our memories that constitutes our violating Nexon's trade secrets. And so I would like to even give that list of what they constitute as their trade secret, because if you look at it, it's so ridiculous, right? In our eyes, it's like, oh, it's,
medieval fantasy.
yeah. So no, you can't. So he might be. He might be in violation of giving away their trade secrets right now. Because,
Extraction shooter.
yeah, like that. But basically, because of that, yeah. So for us, as we saw this, and we're like, what? This is going to have, So we're making the case. We're appealing it because, first of all, we think that we don't agree with that definition of trade like those things that they're presenting as trade secrets information that's just general common knowledge, right? That's what we're saying. So it shouldn't even fit that definition of. And then on top of that is because we don't think that this constitutes trade secret information, is that the damages that was awarded to Nexon, we don't agree with that too. And even if this was, okay, let's go out on a branch and say this does constitute trade secrets information, is that there's no way that this information has the monetary value of what was assessed to us in damages, right? It's like, because they were saying, hey, it's the full amount of damages for like 2 years. And then they arbitrarily set that 2-year date from the date that we started early access to, right?
Right.
So
it was like every dollar that you've basically earned is what you had said before.
Yeah. And I was like,
so could I ask you like a more pointed question about this then? Because the article, the most recent article that got written was in like a Korean news blog somewhere. And one of the arguments that Nexon made was that there was a door asset that you guys have included in your game that right down to like, I think the 6th decimal place or something for the size of the asset was exactly the same. So do you guys have a reason for that? Because that
그러니까 그가 왜 그렇게 똑같았는지.
그러니까 일단 첫 번째로 일단 우리가 구매한 에셋이잖아요.
Yeah. So first of all, the assets were the same, identical. What is it? Purchase asset. So it was modified because it had to be scaled, right? So.
네. 그리고 이제 우리가 그 140이라는 가로 길이.
Yeah.
그러니까 언어 4에서 recommended 되는 그 사이즈 거기에다가 맞춘 거예요. 그렇게 하니까 이제 그 같은 에셋을 거기다 맞추니까 이제 그렇게 되는 거고.
Yeah. So.
근데 그냥 말하고 싶은 건 이 전체 도어에 있는 모든 잴 수 있는 것 중에 딱 그거가 똑같은 거예요. 나머지는 다 달라요. 그리고 모든 문이 다 달라요.
Yeah.
그러니까 이게 만약에 엄청 중요한 뭐 트레이드 시크릿이고 되게 중요한 거면 이걸 다 썼겠죠, 똑같이. 그러니까 전혀 중요하지 않은 거고 그냥 수많은 수치 중에서 하나 그걸 가지고 와서 이제 얘기하는 거.
So okay, so there's the technical explanation is that it's an Unreal 4 asset, and it was scaled because the artist was, again, this is a little bit more context because I know that is that a lot of us were newbies learning Unreal, right? So our background is we've made more games in Unity, right? And so going through this, we're going through a bunch of like the artist that was in charge of the door was using those, the online YouTube. So this is a little embarrassing, but it's like, those YouTube kind of, okay, this is how
like a tutorial.
You learn Unreal. Yeah, tutorials. And so one of the general standards, they're like, okay, hey, the Unreal, scaling is Unreal Man, these kind of doors, that tutorial that he used is like, you want to scale the.
They recommended.
Yeah. So they could pass through at 1.4.
140.
Yeah.
No, 140 unreal unit.
140 unreal units, right?
The width.
Yeah. So if you scale that purchase door to 140,
That's what it comes out to.
that Y value comes out to exactly that, right?
Okay.
그래서 정확하게 이 두 문은 다 달라요. 그냥 높이도 다르고 생긴 것도 다르고 뭐 위치도 다 다른데 그냥 그 가로 길이만 그렇게 나온 거예요.
So this is the thing. It's like they're
So
trying to make it look like.
so you just have to show the
redo this
tutorial,
door and-
right? You would just have to
Yeah.
show the tutorial in that case, and then it's
So
defensive.
this is the thing is in the court case in a court paper, because so what gets presented out to the public, because this is an actual hearing that's 90 minutes, and they give you a specific amount of time. So like this is, I don't want our strategy is like, oh, they're gonna try to do these things that are very sexy for reporters to say, oh, up to 6 decimal points. In the actual, because we have to actually file like actual our case, right? So we have a specific separate filing just on refuting this, right? It's like the door asset itself is, although it's similar on that width, because we follow that. The height and everything, because we use different model scaling, right? Is that we're not using the typical Unreal Man. They have an Unreal Player asset that comes with it, and then we end up buying a different character assets, right? And so like the height is a little bit different here, and so if you look at the heights and everything else, even though it's the same pre-purchase asset, that's all different, right? So it's like, oh.
Right.
But
So just in that one case, you had a guy that was learning how to use Unreal, and he just scaled it based on a tutorial that he found on YouTube.
그러니까 이거는 우연히 그냥
that was it.
같아진 건데 그 사람들은 이걸 우리가 가지고 가서 넣어서 만들었다라고 얘기하고 싶으니까 그걸 이제 그렇게 하는 거예요.
Okay.
Yeah, no, so it comes down to, it's like this is an ongoing process of learning how to build a game, right? It's like that was that process that we were going through. It's like, oh, learning, figuring things out, learning through tutorials. It was actually the same guy, so I think one of the problems is like using that same tutorial again, right?
Right.
But
So okay, so
actually not the same guy.
아니요.
It's just 진짜 우연이에요. 그냥 전혀 다른 사람들이 연구한 거고.
So it's actually
그 문 사이즈 연구한 것도 다 남아 있어요.
Yeah.
그냥 전혀 다른 사람들이 전혀 다르게 생각했는데 그냥 가로 길이가 똑같은 걸 선택한 거예요. 그리고 실제로 다른 문들은 다 달라요, 그냥.
Yeah, so he's saying but basically what it comes down to is that because they found this number that's the same for that door width, right? So all the door, like, we use multiple different types of doors and stuff. It's like, oh, but it's a good way for them to frame it looking like, oh, look at this. They took these numbers up to 6 decimal points, but if you just use that asset, you could use a scalar inside Unreal times to 140. That's how it comes out to. It's like, oh, look, these numbers say they must be using it for nefarious purposes. And it's like these are all stolen stuff, stolen information. So it's something that for them it makes it very like it's more than coincidence, right?
Okay. So all right. Well, let's say just for the sake of argument, let's say if things go poorly. And like they, for whatever reason, they don't, they uphold the original verdict, right? So what happens to the studio if the verdict sticks?
The original one?
Yeah, if the original one sticks, you guys are fine. Because I know that right now Nexon is looking to like have the penalties against you increase. So if that happens, are you guys like at risk of having the studio close, or are we good? Like. Because a lot of people wonder whether or not the studio is going to be like where you guys are for like how SDF had envisioned like the next 10 years, let's say, for this game.
Well, so if they uphold the original, like we've already paid all the penalties and stuff. Yeah,
it's already you guys have already paid it even.
Yeah,
We don't
because
care about that.
Yeah, so the original decision we had to, like if we don't pay it, we get fined. Like they put on extra fines, and then the interest rate goes up is it's pretty brutal. So we're just like, okay, fine, let's move on. But then even then, we did it like grudgingly because we're like, dude, we don't agree with that decision.
Right.
So
I mean, yeah,
that's why we're trying to
fighting
get it reduced.
fighting it makes
we
sense.
want to get it.
Fighting it
Yeah.
makes sense, but I think there was a lot of people that are worried that like the game isn't going to exist in the next 6 months if Nexon gets all of their way or whatever.
Well, if Nexon gets all, so again, there is that risk because they're appealing because they want to appeal the decisions on the first two charges, right? Is copyright infringement and unfair business practice, right? Is that they're saying, hey, these guys, they infringe on our copyright. They, like they took our code and even though like I got my house raided, we got our office raided, they took all our servers. We went to data forensics, originally we had like criminal charges because it looked suspicious. Once it went through all of this, they're like, oh, okay, you know what? There's nothing. They dropped all the
Or all the criminal charges vacated.
So there's one remaining on SDF right now
About using the server at home.
Yeah, and that's a personal one, and that's not on the company because that has to do with when he was actually an employee at Nexon. Oh yeah, you should have been more careful about handling their data, right? But then for anything that has to do with us, the company is like, so we have one where it's we should have been more careful about like they're saying,
Guys, all right, sorry. Chat saying like move on. Guys, I understand that like this portion of it isn't about like the actual patch and like a lot of you guys don't care about this, but every single question that I have came from like a thing that I posted on Reddit and Twitter and YouTube. So there's a lot of people in the community that wanted to know this stuff, and I promised that I would ask questions from the community. And even though a lot of these guys are people that a lot of you all think are clowns, clowns are still a member of the community too. So I'm sorry. But I promised people that I would ask everything that they wanted to know. All right, I apologize.
Oh, yeah. So, okay, your question is, hey, is there a danger of the company not being here? There is some risk, but then I think again, they have a way bigger uphill battle, right? The opposing side is because they have to overturn. There was like 60 pages of why it didn't constitute copyright infringement, why it didn't constitute unfair business practice, right? And then for us is like, hey, we have that last part where it's like, oh, there was no evidence, but they're saying, oh, we think that there's that they were there, they saw that kind of stuff, and so that's in their memories. And so this for us is we don't look at it as an equivalent fight, right? But I'll be remiss to say that there's no risk because they've appealed. So both of us have appealed. So
So do you think like realistic lookout though is that like you guys are good? Like it's looking positive for you? Do you think it's like
I don't want to jinx anything, but yeah, I mean, I'm just trying to be like they have a much more difficult path, right? I'm not saying even our side is, although we believe heavily in our innocence on this with the trade secret information side, but we're also realistic too. As like, man, they'll probably just it's easier for them to hold the status quo, right? But if they do hold the status quo, it's like that's all that's water under the bridge, right? And then we just move forward. Our goal is we want to get some of that money back. It's like, dude, that's it's a pretty considerable amount of chunk of change, right? It's like,
yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I think that kind of covers it. So I kind of have like I don't know, like a kind of like a rapid fire round of just like random questions that I didn't really have to like slam in an outline anywhere. And there's been some stuff that's gotten asked like in chat as like time has gone on that I've tried to like make sure that I can include. And there's probably a few in Discord from people that have gone to Discord and asked because there's quite a few. Okay. Yeah, there's a bunch. Okay. region lock, because earlier you guys were talking about wanting to make sure that like lobbies were getting filled up, and you were talking about like the headshot multiplier, like trying to overcome like people that have like lesser gear and all that kind of stuff. Region lock is one of those things that obviously keeps lobbies small, and there's been a lot of people that have asked for region lock to be removed. Is that something that you guys are considering?
Yeah, we talked about it. So we're not exactly sure if region lock is the reason, you know. So we do understand that, hey, people are, you know, getting around region lock anyways using VPNs, right? So
Yeah. I think there's always going to be workarounds, but I think people are just more
Yeah.
concerned with like wanting to make sure that the lobbies actually had people in them.
yeah. Oh, 1 second. Okay. Yeah, so we talked about it. I think we have to investigate more if that's really the cause, you know, the cause of what is it, like lobbies not having people and stuff, right? So
Yeah. This I think comes down a lot to like people that play on US West, because it's either they tend to run into people that are VPNing to US West for a specific reason, or they are like just dead. Like it feels like
Well, so
people
I-
are getting like stuck there. Whereas like on US
Yeah.
East, it seems like it's a lot more I don't know, busy, open.
well, okay. Yeah, so I think 그러니까 그 region lock 있는 거 있잖아요. 그래서 지금 이제 그 미국 사람들이 US West는 이제 완전 퀄리티가 너무 좋. 그래서 이스트 하고 싶어도 그 선택 없는 거가 이제 문제다. So I think that's a different question. Is like, oh, okay, giving that choice back to people is like, oh, you know, US West has kind of become a dumpster fire. I want to have that agencies select a little bit worse latency, but then you know, okay, so that's a different question. So I think you know there's some roots of this is like the quality of US West getting worse was like you know, the people that infiltrated there prior to the using VPNs to do that, like when we had no region lock, that was just the Oceania servers.
Yeah,
They were
that's
just-
where everybody went. Yeah.
Yeah.
They still do.
It's
It's
just
just like it's guys that are using VPNs to do it now instead.
Yeah, and so you know it's
네, 근데 그게 만약에 그러니까 리전락 클레임은 되게 많이 봤는데 그러니까 일단은 만약에 그게 정말 불편하다면 풀어주는 게 맞을 수도 있고 근데 그 풀면 이제 사이드 이펙트가 되게 크게
yeah.
있을 수 있어서 그런 게 좀 걱정이긴 해요. 그래서 아직은 고민 중이에요.
So again, it's about you know, giving players back that kind of freedom, some you know, comfort. At the same time, there might be extra side effects. So, but it's under consideration because yeah, you know, we are getting complaints about US West, like, oh yeah, it's not a great experience.
Okay, so maybe there could be a change there.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. We got a chance, boys. There's a chance. Okay. Going back to the whole like 50 modifiers to perks and skills and stuff. Could you give us like a more specific idea on what that's going to look like? Like even a few examples?
너무 많아서 다 설명도 못해. 이거
그냥 재밌는
에,
So you're saying there's so many right now? It's like
그래서 그냥 숫자만 바꾼 것보다 로직이 바뀐 게 좀 많아서
Chat, there's a
there's
poll up
so
for
there's-
removing region lock if you want it removed.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So that's great about region lock. Well, okay. You know, it's brought to the forefront for us to consider. For the what he's talking about, the perks of skill is like again in Iron Maid, typical Iron Maid fashion. There are stuff that we're just you know shifting around numbers to better match the. But then he's saying there's actually quite a few that is at the logic in the perks and skill are being actually changed, right? So
Okay.
뭐 예를 들면
네,
Do you have any examples?
yeah, so
Like even not even like you don't even have to have specifics on like how much you're changing something by, but if you could give us an idea on like what you're looking to change.
He's opening up the page.
Okay.
to-
Is there going to be anything new, or will it be adjustments to like existing stuff?
As I know it, right? From what I've heard, is that the first phase they wanted to do again, as always, we're overly ambitious. Is wanted to do revamp and then add a bunch of new, and then now going through it is like, oh, okay, the new stuff we're gonna add later on. This time, let's work on reworking the current perks and skills. So, 예를 들면, so he's gonna give an
그냥
example.
이걸 보여주는 게 아닐 수도. 그냥 진짜 엄청 많아요.
이
그래서
초록색이 안 바꾼 거죠.
as is고
그리고
뭐 예를 들면
없으면 이제
뭐 윈드 블라스트 이런 것들은 소설의 윈드 블라스트 이런 건 즉시 안 나가고 캐스팅 딜레이가 조금 있을 거고요. 뭐 이런 거라든지. 근데 이걸 뭐 하나하나 다 설명할 수는 없을 것 같고 그냥 보는 게 나을 것 같아요. 그냥 업데이트 되면 보는 게 좋을 것 같아요.
Yeah, he's saying it's
이거 다
there's so
설명
much.
절-
He's just gonna it'll take a long time to go through the patch notes to look.
Okay.
You can see each change. Yeah.
Like I think we were just looking for like a couple of examples of like anything.
Just combo attack, adrenaline spike.
그거
이거-
뭐가 바꿨는지 알려줄 수 있어요. 거기서. Okay, so he's looking at the Slayer one. Okay, no, he rejected that one.
뭐 재밌는 거 없을까?
So yeah, he wants now you put him under the spotlight. He's like, oh, is there one that's kind of fun?
이걸 어떻게 설명해야 되지? 잠깐만요.
아니, 그냥
뭐 숫자만 바뀐 것들도 있고
숫자 안 바뀐 거 있다고 그랬잖아요.
그런 것들은
그냥 그거 하나.
자. 뭐 백어택 이런 것들은 이제
Okay, so he's
백어택
looking at
레인지가 그러니까 인식하는 범위가 바뀌었어요. 그래서
Okay.
뭐 로그의 백어택은 훨씬 쓸만해질 거고 예전에 90도 디그리였는데 이제는 120도 디그리로 바뀔 거고
Okay.
그래서 더 이제 효과를 잘 볼 수 있을 거고요.
Yeah, so he's talking like the rogue back attack is like it had a very narrow comb. Now it's like 180 degrees, so it's gonna be a lot easier to use.
네, 뭐 예를
A lot
들면
of-
레인저 트랩 마스터리는 그 덫을 아마 지금 회수하도록 한 것 같아요. 그
So like the trap mastery is
설치하고 다시 가져올 수 있어요.
like they added a new benefit is that what is it when a ranger uninstalls a trap, it comes back into the inventory.
뭐 퍼즈샷은
even like
스킬에서
Traps from
바꾸고.
enemies, you mean even? Like just any trap?
상대 트랩도 들어오는 거야?
그건 해봤는데 아마 자기 것만 쓰지 않을까요? 모르겠어요.
Who doesn't
확인해봐야
know? We don't know yet. So we have
그
to
디테일
test
좀
it,
봐야
yeah.
돼. 지금 너무 많아서 이거는 하나하나 다 외우지를 못해서
Yeah. 그 풀차트는 뭐였다고요?
퍼즈샷은 스킬이거든요 원래 라이브에서. 근데 그게 지금 이제 퍼그로 바뀌고
So previously, purge shot was a skill, right, for ranger, and now it's gonna change into a perk. So again, there's a lot of little tuning.
뭐 예를 들면 뭐 바드는 좀 튜닝이 많은데 뭐 파티 메이커 이런 거는 그 주변 파티 멤버들이 다 술에 취하지 않을 거예요. 그
Yeah. So like party maker
15초 동안 그래서 술을 다 같이 마실 수 있을 거고
for the bard.
Yeah.
So the bard got a pretty extensive rework. So like his skill,
Really?
party maker, yeah. That's what I kind of got the feeling of, you know.
뭐
I mean,
디노
that's
다크니스
actually
이런
kind of
것들
huge because bards were like really a hard like one trick. It was always 10 song unless you played arena, and every once in a while they brought dissonance, and that was kind of it. So that's actually huge.
I don't know if it's gonna break that mold, but there's attempts, right? So like, you know, the example he was giving was with the party maker skill is that now it's a skill you use, and anyone in your AOE, they don't get any drunk effects, and they only get the bonuses.
그다음에 뭐 워럭의 레이 오브 다크니스 같은 것들은 잘 안 맞았었어요. 이게 그 콜리전이 너무 작아서
네.
뭐 이런 것들 다 정리해서 잘 맞게 히트 잘하도록 그렇게 바뀌고.
Yeah.
아니, 너무 많아요. 그래서
Yeah,
이거 다
so-
설명하는 거는 그냥
So he
시간
says,
낭비야. 그냥 게임
yeah,
하는
so there's a bunch of these kind of little things that are being tuned and fixed.
I don't
Did
want
you
to spend
just-
my time.
Wait, did you just say that you added a frat bro aura to Bard?
What?
What? Aura?
Like
Oh,
a
yeah,
fucking
yeah,
like
yeah,
a
yeah,
frat
yeah,
bro
yeah,
like
yeah.
kegger fucking beer drinking party
Yeah, it's-
aura
oh,
for
같이
Bard.
이런 aura 만드는 거다. 스킬.
네,
Yeah,
그래서
basically
근데
that's what it is. Yeah.
힐링이 있으니까요.
Yeah, you can control that. Yeah, so that's what it is. Yeah.
그리고 뭐 드루이드 쉐이프시프트 마스터리 같은 경우는 그 스프릿 매직을 아예 이제 못 쓰게 바뀔 거예요. 그러면 이제 힐링이 좀 많이 줄어들고
Yeah.
뭐 여전히 맨디 그룹은 쓸 수 있지만
So
회복,
there's-
회복 쪽에선 조금
yeah.
약해지고요.
So he did it. Okay. So there's a lot of
너무
yeah,
많으니까 그래서
yeah. So there's gonna be pretty difference in balancing, and there's a lot of tuning. Yeah. So shapeshift mastery, he was saying, is like, oh, if you have shapeshift mastery, is that it's gonna affect the spirit healing. So it's
no spirit magic.
spirit magic, yeah.
They can't casting the spirit magic.
yeah, they won't even be able to cast
Spirit
spirit
spell.
magic.
Oh, so if they take spirit mastery, they won't be able to cast spells at all.
No,
no,
just
spirit.
spirit magic.
Yeah, spirit based magic.
Spirit type of magic.
Oh, just the spirit magic spells?
Yeah, so like
There's
I think
only-
it was
There's only like
robe and-
Bending group is earth magic.
okay.
The nature healing, the restore,
So yeah,
dream fire 이런 것들이 다 spirit magic이야.
yeah, because I was gonna say like spirit is only like a couple of spells, but if it's nature magic too,
that's what it is.
Yeah.
Those are going to be restricted if you take the shapeshift mastery.
oh, that's actually, damn, that's actually a good change. That's actually a good
I don't-
change. I'm all for that actually.
But
Like,
yeah, so he's looking at they went through pretty much extensively all the perks and skills. So I would say around more than 50% of them have some kind of adjustment to it.
Okay. All right.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, guys like me are gonna end up going through that whole list and comment on every little thing, but
that's kind of what our expectation was.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So just to give you an idea, like the reason why this got brought up, and this is from like NBoss. There's perks like Holy Water that no one ever uses because they don't have a whole lot of like real world use, and spells like Cleanse don't really ever get used because there's only a couple of curses from one class, so they don't bother taking up a spell slot for that. And abilities like Exploitation Strike for Warlock, for instance, only make sense if you use like a fast weapon. So if you're not using like a falchion, it doesn't typically make sense to use because it's based on every time that you hit them. So you're almost better off going barehanded if you're trying to heal from it, as opposed to like trying to get like a single swing, maybe two, off of like a bigger two-handed weapon, unless you're like stacking the hell out of dexterity, which most like warlocks that are going to do that don't use.
그런 거 같아요. 그냥
So for stuff like that, do you have ideas for like those perks and spells where you can make them useful or like scale them differently so that they actually got more use?
So what SDF is saying is, if you ask him about specific perks and skills, he could give you the exact.
about
like-
the holy water.
Yeah, so he's saying, okay, holy
And stuff
water.
like
이거는
Eldritch Shield consumes dark shards, but it doesn't give you any benefit for using them.
Yeah, so
Eldritch Shield.
he's gonna explain.
Eldritch Shield.
holy water는 알겠어요. 근데.
그래서 홀리 워터는 원래 저주만 해제했을 거예요, 제 기억에.
So yeah, he's
Cleanse is useful. One turd doesn't know shit.
홀리 워터는 이제 저주랑
Bro, never change.
마법을 전부 제거하고요. 그다음에 자기 자신한테 블레스 걸어줘요.
okay. So holy water is gonna change. Is
제거했을
that
때
it gets rid of the curse and 어떤 거요? 뭐야? 이거 magic.
Curse and Magic 전부 다 지우고요. 안 좋은 거 디버프 때.
So yeah, so holy water actually is like it gets rid of the debuffs, and then if you
Right.
successfully get rid of the debuff,
Then you get blessed.
you also get a bless buff.
Oh,
on
so
the
you've modified it to like give stats if they clean something
Yeah.
out. Okay.
그다음 뭐 엘드리치 실
and he's gonna give you Eldritch Shield.
엘드리치 실드는 자 뭐라고 써있냐? 지금은 그렇게 돼 있네요. 그러니까 원래는 4초 동안 다크 매지컬
So originally it was
그게
for
20%
yeah.
20% 증가하게 돼 있어요.
네.
20%. 근데 지금 이제 바뀐 거는 이제 30% 다크 매지컬 파워 보너스 있고요.
So
그리고
yeah,
그
Elder Shield
30%
will give you a 30% dark magic bonus.
그다음에 이제 이거가 지금 되고 있는지 모르겠는데 이건 좀 확인해 봐야 될 것 같은데 다크 매직 캐스팅 스피드가 30% 감소하게 돼 있네요. 그러니까 이걸 이제 사용하면 아마 볼트 오브 다크니스를 많이 쓸 수 있게 그렇게 지금 디자인한 것 같아요.
So there's a mechanical stuff part here that he's not sure is implemented yet or not, right?
전부 다 한글로 써있지. 설명.
One second.
네.
Yeah. But it's supposed to also give what is it, 30%
네.
casting speed for dark magic.
magic,
Yeah.
그리고 또
30% casting speed?
너무 많아.
Like spell like casting haste?
Casting speed.
다크 매직.
Yeah, dark magic.
So they get it's a casting speed buff for dark magic spells?
Yeah.
Okay.
And with the 30% of the magical power.
And more
And- And 30% magic power?
Yeah.
More dark magic. Goddamn, too
Yeah.
complex.
So it's
Shit.
basically, yeah, you could use dark magic. So what was it? The bolt
Bolt of darkness.
bolt of darkness is gonna get buffed up when you use
Right.
that.
Right.
You use
Huh.
it faster. Yeah.
Okay.
Other thing.
All right. So map related question. A number of people, like I would say most people at this point, don't like that there are a lot of people that just like basically camp around open red doors and then just leave if like the pressure gets too high. There's no like interact time. It doesn't take anybody like any amount of time, whatever, to leave the map. They can just walk away. But they'll sit by the door. Like basically they'll sit by the door and camp it, trying to block people from being able to leave. And then if the pressure gets too high, then they just leave themselves. So there's like little to no risk for challenging people trying to like hold them from being able to like go downstairs. Or if they're getting chased, they just leave the map instead of like having to fight through like getting their ass kicked. So is there any like idea behind changing that? Because if the idea behind HR is that everybody's supposed to fight and no one's supposed to like be nice, blah blah blah, right? Okay, fine. But the PvP interactions, instead of having people like actually have to fight through them, they can just walk away. And it seems counterintuitive to the idea.
Yeah. So he's got.
왜냐면 이거는 너무 재밌는 게 뭐냐면 자 서클은 싫다고 얘기하고 있잖아요. 그러니까 PVP를 그 포싱하는 건 싫다. 다 강제로 하게 하는 건. 근데 그 레드 스테어 같은 거는 막아서 PVP를 강제하고 싶다. 약간 이렇게 저한테 들리는 거예요.
그러니까 여기서는 이제 이거가 이 메시지를 푸싱하고 싶은데 그러면 왜 이거는 그 메시지를
그러니까
별도니까요.
그건 맨 마지막 플로어에서 싸우라 이거예요. 그러니까 그렇게 푸싱하는 거는 우리는 도망갈 길은 있다 위에서는. 근데 이제 맨 밑에 가면 인퍼노에서는 그런 찬스가 없는 거죠.
Yeah. So the thinking behind this is that it's PvP, but you're still pushing it. So there's different layers of risk reward, right? And the ultimate PvP is supposed to be at the lowest level, right? And want to push the people. So that's the intention behind it.
Okay. So what you're saying is that as it sits right now, you're planning on leaving it the way it is.
Yes, because we did think about that for a while, and it's like, okay, for right now, it's like, hey, we're pushing it, and there has to be some kind of release valve, at least at the upper, right? And so that's the mechanic right now that we're just using.
Okay. In regard to like matches, like loading up with people, one of the issues with continuous dungeon is you have people that will walk 15 meters away from where they spawned in, and then you will have another team that ends up spawning in like right behind them, or you're the team that spawns in behind another like two teams fighting to then third party them, even though you've only been on the map for like a minute, maybe two, right? Is there the possibility of having people like, and this is also in line with the load times. right? So you'll queue up and you usually get a map like almost right away on in the core game, right? Arena takes a little while to wait depending on what bracket you're in, but for the core game, it's almost immediate. Is there the possibility of having that queue time be like even just like a little bit longer? Because maybe I don't know, maybe people in chat don't agree with this, but on my end, I would rather like have to wait like another minute, knowing that the majority of the map was full or close to full with people that are all loading in at the same time, as opposed to having people like walking in right from where I just spawned, like one module away or whatever, thinking that had already been cleared, and then they're just like on top of me.
Okay, so there's two issues here. So the first issue is that continuous dungeon where people are spawning too close. I think that's an issue that we have to reinvestigate because we have a player spawn logic, and I think that has to be tuned after hearing. I mean, we knew about this, and we've done some simulation, and I think maybe our simulation and what people are experiencing might have a disconnect. So this is something like we understand that feels bad, right? So that is one of the side effects of continuous matchmaking, but that's just in our execution of it right now, right? So
Right.
I think that's something that we could fix, right? And then going on to talking about like it feels like you're talking about, hey, if everyone starts together and improving the overall quality of the session, that is something we are thinking about.
Yeah, because I mean, you just have people that will follow trails of dead bodies right after they spawn in because they are in an empty module, and then they just follow the dead stuff through the open doorways until they come across whoever is like fighting in front of them, and then they get third party.
Yeah, so I think on that might again, that's another different aspect is like following trails of dead monsters.
Well, I think it's one thing if you're 10 minutes into the match already or 15 minutes into the map, like it's not nearly as much of an issue as being like 3 minutes in and having that problem happen. And it's not just because people spawn too close and they're just like spawn rushing. I mean, like that stuff happens too, but it's from people that spawned where you started from just because you moved away, like, and I don't know, the game put them there.
Yeah. So this is something that's on our mind heavily, and I think we're gonna try out. We think we have a solution. At least we could test it in certain modes. So maybe it might be kind of like a hybridization of like getting more people, starting people off at least in high rollers. So this is something that we're thinking about for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Is the goal still to have some type of like talent tree at some point for how the game is going to be built?
Well, next season, maybe.
Well, so yeah,
Aiming for.
He's saying next season, aiming for.
So season 8, you mean?
I'll be honest, I don't know, but it's definitely a goal.
Okay.
I don't want to say timelines anymore.
Somebody on Reddit asked about whether or not there was going to be like cloak skins.
Yes, but
I know that you had told me before that you have to individually skin each cloak.
yes, so that's why my answer is,
Okay.
The current technical implementation. So, but that's something I kind of pushed on it. Hey, let's figure this out.
Okay. I think so. Based on what I had seen from the questions that people have been asking in all the different places that I like basically asked for them, most people, from what I could tell at this point, consider like the most valuable content adds to the game to be expanding on the existing classes with more build variety as opposed to like more maps, let's say.
Yeah.
Is that like kind of the planned focus for you guys, or where are you guys kind of focusing your efforts right now in order to like do content adds for the game?
컨텐츠 이제 하기 위해서 우리가 포커스가 어디 있는지 계속 맵, 캐릭터 빌드.
지금은 이제 루프의 확장이 가장 관심 있죠. 그래서 게더링 홀이 원래 우리 메인인데,
Yeah.
그러니까 맵을 만드는 건 그러니까 워터맵을 만드는 거는 물을 만들려고 만든 거지. 뭐 맵을 확장해야 되기 때문에 만들고 이런 개념이 아니에요. 제 기준에서는.
Yeah, so he wants to clarify the reason for doing the water map was not specifically just to add content as map, was that he wanted to figure out, like, hey, how can I make a compelling, swimming water system, right?
네,
And
그걸 제대로 만들고 싶어요.
that was a goal, a
About the
challenge
blue
for his
The blue
vision, right?
milestone.
And so that's why, hey, to do that properly, it's like, oh, I need a water map, right?
Right.
So that's the motivation behind it.
네.
어.
그리고
So do you guys think for your
메인 포커스
content ads moving forward, it's going to be more about like adding more things to the existing classes?
So that's part of
그건
it.
당연히
Yeah,
해야 되는 거죠.
so that's for
앞에서
sure.
우리가 많이 확인한 것도
But the thing in front of us that the biggest, I guess our goal right now is to find the expand the loops, the core loops, right? And so that's why it was for us is like, oh, we got to get the gathering hall in as soon as possible, because that's another game loop that kind of feeds into each other, right? So
그게 왜 제가 그 퍼스널 하우징에 그렇게 관심이 많은지
yeah,
그런
and
것들이
so,
이제 그 이유고. 그러니까 어쨌든 골은 그걸 좀 확장해야 되고. 그러니까 예를 들면 클래스라든지 맵이라든지 이런 건 우리가 이제 많이 해본 거고.
yeah.
앞으로 그냥 계속 할 것들 그건 이제 우리가 갖고 있는
So it's like
페이스라인.
those are things that now that we've done and we have that kind of knowledge internalized now.
이런 건 다 해야 되는
So
거.
those are things that we have to continue to do, right? Like, hey,
Reworks,
that's a skill we acquired. We're not gonna, just put on the wayside. So those are stuff that now we have to continue to do. But the thing that's more interesting and bigger challenge for us is to flesh out the big loops, right? So like the reason we're doing the gathering hall is that this is a segue into what SCF really wants is personal housing, right? Because he comes from Ultima Online, where you had your personal house, and the end goal there was to get your own manor castle, right? And so it's, have our version of doing that way down the line, but we have to put down that the technical structure first. So
Okay. Let's see. We already talked about the demigod system with the splits. When it comes to arena stuff, a couple of questions. One is there's a lot of people in chat that are wondering whether or not we could do another artifact arena run before the end of the season. The second is wait, say that one more time.
yeah, so we're not. So this season, the semi wipe, our goal was, hey, we're doing the we put it out, and we're gonna have it run until the 23rd. With our original intention was we're not gonna do any hot fixes, but then because of the bugs, we had to do at that first week we had to push out. But it's basically we wanted to use the semi wipe to buy us the time so we could just focus on development for the next season.
Okay.
To do the artifact stuff, we would have to do a hot fix. That's just right now.
And you guys don't want to
We're
take the
not-
servers down to do that.
Well, yeah, that, and then also everyone right now is on focus mode just for
Okay.
getting season 7 out.
So
Yeah,
no
it's
artifact
not-
arena not happening.
Yeah,
Okay.
sorry.
Sorry,
Yeah, it's
chat.
not-
No
we could
artifact
just
arena.
turn on.
Sorry, guys. And then there was another question about like some of these arena maps, especially the map like Drain, seems like it's really overly complex for no reason and like really unfun to play on. Is there a plan? Is there a plan to have like more straightforward like arena maps for people to be able to play on?
Arena, yeah. So again, that's the arena right now. The maps that's also our test bed. So one of the things when as you know, we're modular based with our maps, right? Is that when we put the maps into the arena map pool, is the maps that people have the most complaints about that's the ones that we improve most quickly. It's kind of this is our right now again that kind of test bed for finding out what are the really bad maps, and then okay, this is our signal. These are the things that we have to fix on the maps, right? And so the arena is kind of that filter that kind of shines that red light saying, oh, okay, these are the stuff to fix, right? So
Okay. What else we got? Has there been any thought given to like class balancing based on party size? Because I know, like, for instance, like Druid seems like it's the most oppressive class in solos, right? And Ranger's kind of like a close second, and Sork is also up there too. But if you put that same Druid in a 3-man, they're not necessarily as like difficult to deal with, right? So is there or has there been any thought given to like different party sizes get different types of balance? Which obviously would be a lot more work, but even still.
그건 그냥 어쩔 수 없는 것들. 어떤 클래스는 솔로에서 유리하고 어떤 클래스는 뭐 트리오에서 좋고 이거는 클래스 베이스 게임에서 완벽하게 맞출 수는 없을 거고요. 근데 예전에는 이제 우리가 솔로 듀오를 계속 유지해야 되는가에 대한 의문이 있었기 때문에 거기에 밸런스에 관심이 아예 없었지만 지금은 이제 우리가 그건 유지할 거다라고 결정을 한 이후기 때문에 거기서 너무 튀어나온 것들은 다 계속 조정을 할 거예요.
So it's just that's par for course on a class-based game is that, hey, you know, certain classes are going to be, you know, have advantages in solo or, you know, have advantages in a party. So I think the you know, that's something that we're just taking as a given. But the difference right now is that originally, you know, before there was considerations as, hey, is our game really made for solos or duos, right? And so, you know, that's kind of one of the big question marks that we're trying to figure out during the semi-wipe. You know, the conclusion afterwards is that, hey, yeah, solos and duos are an essential integral part of the game now. And so, you know, like mentally now it's like, oh, okay. Prior to that, hey, we don't need to even consider solo balancing. It's like, oh, okay, at least now, even though there, you know, we can't make a perfect balance across different party sizes, is like, hey, anything that's egregious, let's try to at least tone that down.
Okay.
So,
okay. And I mean, it sounds like you guys have made a lot of adjustments from what you were talking about earlier with like the multitude of changes that you're looking at doing for balancing. So it might not be nearly as bad in season 7. I guess we'll just have to wait and see.
So again, yeah, it's an ongoing.
Okay,
ongoing
there
process,
was a question for like future facing stuff. Somebody had asked a question about like progression systems for mining, like picking herbs, fishing, like that kind of stuff. If we ever get fishing, like a leveling system for those craft skills. So like you like a mining skill where like if you get a high enough level in it, you have a chance to be able to like get a gem or like a double hit of ore or something like that from doing the mining. Just like a thing that people can grind.
그러니까 뭐
마이닝 할 때 보석 나오게 이런 것들?
그러니까 그거 이제 프로그레션 시스템이 있었으면 재밌을 것
아,
같고.
당연히 하고 싶은데 네, 트레이닝 고민할 때 고민할 것 같아요.
Yeah. So he says when he starts working on the training progression system,
Okay.
it's something on, you know.
Okay.
on his mind.
Any thoughts on any like long-term progression that would persist between wipes other than cosmetics? Like, I don't know.
So that was my pet baby that I wanted to work on, and then I'm still gonna work on that, but that's not coming out this wipe. Yeah. So.
Okay. All right. So server performance stuff. There's been like videos that have come out like relatively recently. I think Sparky made one where there was a lot of like rubber banding issues and like desync issues with some of the netcode. And then the question was kind of like, is there the possibility of giving us like an overlaid like console command so that we could see our like server ping or like packet loss if there is any? Or if you guys could give us an idea of like what your server tick rates are like.
카운터 스트라이크에 다 있었던 기능.
네네네. 이제 사람들이 이거가
필요한 거죠. 네. 지금 그 여력은 없는데 이제 그런 것들 해주고 싶은 마음 당연히 있죠. 왜냐면 옛날에 잘 썼으니까 저도.
Yeah. So okay. So what he's saying is, you know, thinking about this now is like, oh wait, okay, we could totally. He totally understands why.
They want.
Yeah, people want this, and so he's starting to think is like, okay, I want to, you know,
근데 일단은
in terms of resources right now that's kind of difficult, but there is definitely a need, and he understands that personally.
그래서 일단은 왜 저 클레임이 나오는지를 조금 많이 봐야 될 것 같아요. 그러니까 서버 사이드에서 어떤 일이 있는지.
So the other thing, the little the exclamation mark that goes off right now for him, is
네, 왜냐면 이게
why all of a sudden are people asking for this, right? Because that means that then they're not getting a good experience with the network, right?
네,
So
그게
that's
이제
the deeper question is like we have to
복잡하니까요.
figure out, okay, what's causing more people to be sensitive about this, right?
Yeah, so there might be something going on with the servers too. I don't know, but it was a question that got asked. So, people are asking about Monk. A lot of people are asking about like Monk and if there's the like Monk being added to the game at some point.
Yeah, I mean, we've
Season 8? Yeah. We are aiming for.
Yeah, so the aim is for season 8.
Okay. So
Yeah.
maybe in season 8.
Yes.
Maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Slow looting of players. So one of the other things that we're seeing now with the player counts being what they are, especially in high roller, is you have guys that will like rat corpses while other people have to run off and fight and deal with like other issues. You have a lot of guys that like swarm in and just like quick loot corpses and take off. It seems like it's happening more and more like as of late. Is there a plan on bringing back like the slow looting of corpses that you did not kill yourself?
No, so we felt like it felt a little too artificial, right? And so I think that's more of our we look at it as it's the risk reward is that balance is we have to tune it better, right? So we want to incentivize that, or disincentivize that kind of gameplay with the risk reward rather than like a artificial kind of mechanic. So that's why we moved that. So
Okay.
we have ideas with this, with like going back to like
You want to tweak
how
it, you're
to
just not
set
sure
up
exactly how you're going to do it.
근데 그 생각은 조금 있어요. 이건 저스트 아이디어인데 그 다른 익스트랙션 슈터들이 하고 있는 아이템이 좀 천천히 그 드러나는 디스런 시스템 있잖아요.
Yeah.
그런 건 조금 고민이 있어요. 왜냐면 지금 그 리플리케이션 할 때 데이터를 그 아이템 데이터를 한 번에 주고받기 때문에 오는 부담도 좀 있거든요. 그러니까 그런 네트워크 레이턴시를 좀 해결하기 위해서라도 약간 데이터를 천천히 받게 하고 싶고, 그렇게 하면 결국 그러니까 새로 그 시체에 액세스 한 사람은 시간이 상당히 걸릴 거기 때문에 어느 정도 비슷한 효과가 날 수도 있을 거예요. 그러니까 왜냐면 내가 이걸 레코나이제이션 하는데 시간이 걸리니까.
So
그런 식으로 해결을 하고 싶지, 이걸 아티피셜하게 그냥 기능으로 해결하고 싶지는 않아요.
yeah. So in other extraction shooters that you have that where you loot a body and then the item, it doesn't appear right away. You have to kind of identify the item. Is that so the original idea for us is like we wanted to implement a system like that, and then later on I was like, oh, okay, we don't the priority kept on falling. That was actually supposed to tie in with one of the attributes like knowledge. If you have higher knowledge, you could it was called the item discern system. You could discern items faster because you have more knowledge about the world and the world itself and the items. And then it fell to the wayside because this the priority fell down. These days we're thinking like for technical reasons, like it actually makes a good idea because on the technical side, the way that we on the multiplayer, where the player statuses are replicated, is that we shoot all the item information, so all the people, they can see other people's information when they get into replication range. Again, this has issues with hackers too.
Right.
And so
네, 그러니까 완전히 그렇게 돼 있지는 않은데
yeah, it's not. Yeah, so
이 오픈할 때 우리가 받을 거예요. 근데 이제 그걸 한 번에 받는 것들 이런 것들도 있고 하니까 그걸 좀 이제
and then
어싱크하게 처리하고 싶은 거죠.
yeah.
그런 걸 하기 위해서 그런 기술이 필요할 거고, 아마 그걸 하면 아마 비슷한 효과가 나지 않을까, 뭐 이런 생각이 있다는 거. 네.
So again, because of some tech, we look at it as like, oh, there's a game design element those kind of systems, but they also have carry-on effects that could improve the technical side. That could, if we could leverage that, make the overall experience better, right, and cleaner. So that is, like we're talking about, like, oh, the slow loop. That's just like a kind of a, we took a hammer and it's like, oh, maybe there's a more elegant, more genre, permanent kind of system, and that could have that carry-on effects of having other benefits. So that's something that we talked about. Sort of.
Okay. Okay, back to the water map. I guess I did miss a couple of things. So with the water map, obviously we're going to be seeing like a bunch of new like monsters and stuff. Could you give us like any kind of idea surrounding like the water map and with what you're adding? Like examples of new monsters, new armor, new weapons. I know that we're getting a new artifact. It's a spear, right? That's coming from that.
There's a couple of new artifacts.
Is there only one boss, or is there going to be more than one boss on that map? Because we know about the stingray already.
Yeah, there's two bosses.
Two bosses.
Yeah, there's still tuning.
The ancient stingray and the blade hand.
Yeah, so the ancient stingray is one you've already seen it, and then the other is this guy blade hand.
Okay.
So it kind of goes into, there's a semi like pirate theme to the map.
그리고 워터맵에서 제일 중요한 거는 7x7이 된다는 게 제일 중요해요.
Yeah, and this is our, again, so when we're doing these kind of new maps and stuff, we're trying to also leverage in some technical stuff. So this is the first map. It's going to be a little bit bigger. It's 7x7.
It's a 7x7 map.
Yeah, we tried doing the random mod, and it was a mess. So I think it's gonna come out as a set map this time.
그래서 좀 오래 걸렸죠.
It took a while. We were like, oh, can we really make the random?
You said this earlier, but the map is going to be a set layout, but it won't have an HR option right now, correct?
Not right now.
아직 풀 튠이 안 됐기 때문에 하이롤러는 아직 안 집어넣을 거예요. 왜냐면 초이스가 없기 때문에 하이롤러는.
Yeah, so we've removed it from the high roller matching pool.
Okay.
It's going to be available only in the normal and the adventure mode.
Yeah.
Will we have more time in raid then?
There's also going to be a new mode we're going to add this season. I guess that's something we forgot to mention. So it's basically okay. So there's context is because of the random dungeon system is that we tried it out this semi like with the high rollers, right?
Right.
And so the data we retrieved from doing this was super positive for us in terms of so again, people will take it if it's positive for them or not, but for us on a service standpoint was that it's really it fixed one of the big issues for us was having too many matching pools, right? And because we were able to do it, hey, now it's just one random. We basically for each party size, you only have one matching pool now, right? And because of this, it gives us a lot more leeway. We haven't implemented it yet because, again, we just learned this from actually running the random dungeons. Is that it gives us more leeway now? I think we have solutions now, or not full solutions, but ways to start better combating like stream sniping and teaming and stuff like that because of this. But we're very optimistic about the random dungeons, right? So because of this, we're like, okay, I know there's been a lot of complaints about the normal mode having like too high of a gap, right? And this is something that is a necessary evil right now because of our population size, right? And then supporting across like multiple map types and then multiple party sizes, right? And so, we internally we were really discussing, oh, hey, what's the right range? We do also have the tools easily to do gear bracket, but the reason we can't utilize gear bracket is because we put it in. It splits. It basically doubles all the matchmaking pools, right?
Right.
And so, man, okay, so we're in this kind of never-ending loop of where's that? Can we find a good balance for this? And so we wanted to still have an area where you could go in lightly to have with common gear, right? That
So this is all
a long time ago, the other 25.
the water map is just
So-
one level, right? Like there's no red door to go down a level.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So
So I,
going back to so I just want to explain that the new mode is that going back to is the lesson we learned is because we have this new tool of the random dungeon map, is that it allows us to make a new mode without Xing all the matchmaking pools. Is that hey, we think next season, even right now with the current population, our data shows that hey, we could probably support this. If we can only add one new matchmaking pool per each region, is that we're gonna put in we call it the squires to riches mode. Okay, it's basically the under 25.
Okay.
It's basically gear limited to common items.
so you're bringing back like Squire gear, like lobbies.
Yeah, so it's a Squire gear lobby, but it's kind of a hybrid, right? So this is I don't know. This is where we're gonna get.
Are you
most
saying like
negative
Squire
reaction.
gear in high roller maps?
Yeah, so it's a hybrid of high roller with the random dungeons and then kind
Okay.
of the
Okay, I fuck
But
with
it's
that.
basically
All right.
you go in with comments, right? So it's basically, hey, you want to go risk free and just do PvP, or you want a rat and then if you can survive and get out, yeah, it's a risk free way to do that.
Yeah,
But
yeah, I'm down with that. That'll be fun as hell. Yeah, I'm good with that.
그러니까 이 모드의 목적은 우리는 좀 가볍게 할 수 있는 스트레스를 풀 때 가볍게 할 수 있고 그 다음에 그 PVE 플레이어가 그러니까 어드벤처 모드 플레이어가 PVP를 노멀에서 배우기에는 그 갭이 스텝이 너무 커요. 그래서 그걸 좀 줄여주고 그런 이제 그리고 지금은 우리가 있는 세션 룰을 가지고 일단 만들었지만 이 모드의 목적은 제대로 된 제로 투 히어로 모드를 만들어주는 거예요.
Yeah. So the 3 points that again going back is the first thing was like you wanted to have a mode where PvP wasn't so heavy, right? So where you have to do all this preparation and you have to gem stuff and to be competitive, feel competitive. It's a kind of a more lightweight PvP mode, right? The second thing is like there's that transition phase where we have the adventure mode, but then hey, now I've got my feet wet, I want to start doing PvP, but we throw people into the current normal mode, and people are going in there with like legendaries, I think, right?
Soapy, I got a tournament idea, buddy.
But
using that mode would be fun.
But that gap is still too heavy, we thought, right? So we wanted to have that kind of transitional stage, and I think this is going to make a place where hey, now I understand some of the basics, and I want to start practicing and learning PvP without risking gear and stuff. That this we're hoping for to be that kind of playground for that, and so that's kind of the motivation on this mode.
Okay, so I do have a question about the water map specifically, because there's not going to be an HR, but you have a new artifact from the bosses. Without HR, how are we getting an artifact off of those bosses?
Oh, so right now, yeah. So these are things that we're gonna have to adjust, during the season. Is that again, artifacts that's independent of how we tie them to the loot pools, to the bosses and stuff.
Okay.
And so
you're thinking maybe you just add the spear to like a different boss's loot
a,
pool then?
So that's one option, or it could be that hey, because again, it's not at 0. It's hey, we need some tuning for this. It's gonna come out in our prediction is that it's gonna come out somewhat in during the season. Is that hey, okay, maybe so this is something that we have ways to adjust about.
Okay. Are there any other? Okay, so you guys posted a teaser image of that like 14th century gun too.
Yeah, the hand cannon.
hand cannon.
Yeah.
There
Yeah,
are two
so that
weapons.
hand
Two
cannon,
new
is that
weapons.
going to be player usable, or is that going to be like on an NPC or something?
usable.
Yeah, it's a
player
usable, yeah.
weapon.
It's going to be a player usable item.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Will it be rare,
yeah.
or like what are we talking here? Is it going to be like all the different like rarity grades, or
Yeah, so it's a normal weapon item.
it's just
Yeah,
going to
it's
be
like
like a
a
normal
just-
ranged weapon that everyone can use, or is it like class specific?
Class.
Yeah,
class-
there's So it's like a win. Yeah, it's singular like a winless, but it's like
So
a little
rangers.
different. It's like,
Yeah. And
All
there
right.
are one more
Another reason to
weapon.
hate rangers even more. Great.
There are one more weapon called cutlass.
Oh yeah, so I mean.
Oh, the
yeah,
cutlass.
doesn't
Yeah,
mean
we saw the
melee,
cutlass
doesn't-
too. Yeah.
I mean, pirates.
Yeah, the pirates will have a cutlass as well.
이야기를 좀 해주고 싶은데,
And so yeah, he wants it.
거의 대부분의 무기들의 아직 연구가 되지 않은 무기들 빼고 양손 무기나 그 한손
Yeah.
무기들의 전부 블락이 들어왔어요 이제.
So we've also this is the process of we wanted to do for a while, but so this is the start. You'll see it. Most of the weapons now will have a blocking.
Even bows and the crossbows.
Oh, they're going to have
So
a
if they
blocking
can-
mechanic built into most all the weapons now. Okay.
And then I think the
Will they have riposting as well?
rapier will have the riposting.
Rapier gets a
Well, that-
riposte.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Okay. All right. Are players going to be able to use the cutlass as well?
Oh yeah. So
Okay.
that's it.
What classes can use it?
Like a Persian.
Yeah, it's basically a lighter falchion.
Okay. So wait, so then it would have a faster attack speed, I assume. Is that going to be usable by warlocks as well then?
Yeah, warlocks can use them.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's see. All right, there's a couple of things a lot of rogue players are asking about, like being able to make tumble like something that would work around a build, because right now it doesn't feel like it's all that useful. And then also somebody mentioned that crush for barbarian is not working at all right now. But you also said that you didn't want to take the servers down, so that's something I'm guessing that you're already aware of.
Yeah, we're not. Yeah, so this I think there's like 5 days left, right, or 6.
Yeah, five for us, I guess.
Yeah, until the 23rd, right?
Yeah.
So we're not gonna do anything this season. So everything's coming in on the wipe. Tumbling. This time, tumbling is still a dead skill.
Tumble's
I'm
a
looking at
dead.
the page. There's just like
huge
this
Rogues
is
are
such-
rogues are
now.
fucked, chat. Rogues are fucked. Sorry. It's over. It's over, boys. Somebody
There
also asked if
was
there was
huge
like
stuff
the
on
ability to work some stuff into Rogue that didn't rely on them turning invisible, but I guess Repose, you're just gonna have to be like the 4th best class or something. I'm sorry, man. And then there's a lot of questions about test server as well. It doesn't seem like test server is getting utilized at all, which I have
Yeah.
I have to agree with. Like, that's kind of like an afterthought at this point.
We're trying to, yeah. I mean, again, so we've been doing a lot of there was a lot of internal restructuring and stuff. Like, we know that there's things if we invest this way, it'll help us down the line in the future. But at the same time, it's like, oh, okay, there's other stuff development wise. We're like, okay, let's just get it done, even though it's going to cost us. So we know like test server is one of those things like, oh, we invest in right now, then it's going to have a lot of fruits down the line. But it's just everyone's overloaded right now. So I
With
think that's,
with the water map, is Druid getting like a swimming form added to their class?
얘기할까요?
뭐야?
드루이드.
뭐 드루이드 뭐야?
Yeah, the
Because you
penguin.
talked about like adding
yeah,
penguin like
penguin
forever
form.
ago.
Yeah, there's penguin form.
Yeah, there's a penguin.
Yeah.
There's a penguin form in the patch?
네, 드루이드는 항상 그 모빌리티에서는 그냥 최고의 위치에 있을 거예요. 그건 변하지 않아요.
Yeah, so Druid is one of their design pillars for Druid is like they're supposed to be adapt to the environment and have the highest best mobility adapt to that environment.
Okay.
So there's a penguin, yeah. It's very cute.
They did not hear the Crush question. They did. They didn't adjust anything with Crush because they're not taking the servers down between now and the end of the patch. Like when the season ends, then they're going to take the servers down, and that's going to get patched in with the other shit. That's what they said. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys.
크러쉬는 바꾼 거 있어요?
아, 크러쉬는 지금 좀 너프됐잖아요. 그래서 다시 옛날처럼 돌아갈 거예요. 돌아갈 건데 우리가 그 문을 모든 사람들이 부술 수 있게 이제 업데이트하면서 크러쉬가 조금
네.
사이드 이펙트가 있었던 거고 그건 원래도 들어갈 거고.
Yeah. So Crush should go back to that power level from before we made that change where everyone could break doors.
Okay.
양손 투핸디드 웨펀일 때
Yeah. So
네,
there's gonna
파워가 올라가고 도어를 한 번에 부술 수 있게. 리인포스드 도어는 뭐
Are you guys adding any like new spells to any of the like classes or any new skills or anything? Not yet. Okay. All right.
Just penguin.
just penguin. Yeah, penguin's a new skill.
Yeah, I mean, like
actually,
if I could just like I guess like voice one opinion, it's that a lot of the older classes feel like they kind of are behind the curve when it comes to the new stuff that's been added, especially when you start looking at wizard versus sorcerer. Like clerics, wizards, like the old like fighter stuff, bard, like that kind of stuff. Like you already mentioned, like a bard rework, but those classes like need more things, especially in the case of like a wizard, because like they should have probably twice as many spells as they do.
Yes. So
네, 뭐 알고 있지만 모든 걸 한 번에 다 할 수는 없기 때문에.
yeah, so we know.
Okay.
That's way outside our
네,
capacity right now.
앞서서 얘기한 것처럼 일단은 그 코어 밸런스들을 다 잡았고 그 다음에 언유저블 퍽 이제 튜닝하고 있고 그 다음에 이제 뉴 퍽 할 거예요. 그래서 그건 스텝 바이 스텝.
Yeah. So step by step again, you know, now that we have that spine for where we know where we want to go with our balance, the first stage after that was, you know, reworking unused, you know, low value perks and skills. The next phase after that is now, you know, augmenting that.
Okay. Chad, you guys got anything else? Did I miss anything? I know we covered a lot of ground. Oh, there was a question about would you guys ever consider using like an old school RuneScape voting system for like changes that you're looking to implement in the game? If you aren't familiar with that, the way that it works is you guys know what I'm asking.
No.
Okay, so the way that old school RuneScape works is if they're looking to implement a new system, they put it up for a vote. You have to have at least a certain number of hours in the game, and you have to have a character above a certain level in the game in order to be able to make a vote. And then if the vote passes, it has to have at least 70% of the player base that say that they like the idea. And then as time goes on, they ask like more iterative questions through the voting system to better direct the devs in terms of like what the majority of the player base wants. As long as those things continue to pass, then that thing that was being presented to them gets implemented. Otherwise, it doesn't.
Oh, okay.
Like most recently, they asked the player base if they wanted to have sailing in the game, and overwhelmingly the player base approved it.
But again, like sailing is like so wide, you know, like
right.
how you implement it is gonna
like obviously there were more pointed questions after that, but that was kind of the idea.
I mean, for us is right now is because we had that suggestion, the page is we're trying to make better use even of that, like that tool,
like
the feature, you know? And so we have to clean that up. But again, we're at overload capacity right now, but we're still trying to check in on that. And okay, but short answer, yeah.
Okay.
Right now, no.
Pete keeps asking about whether or not you're going to make changes to blood exchange. Just tell him no.
Blood exchange.
He doesn't get told no enough.
뭘 말했다고?
그거 뭐 바꿀 건지.
Blood exchange.
Okay, it looks like it has a change.
It has a
Looks like
change.
it has a...
Is it nerfed? Tell me it's nerfed.
Actually buffed.
You buffed it? There you go, Pete.
Yeah, it looks like it got buffed though.
See, I said nobody tells Pete no enough.
Okay.
There you go, brother. You got it buffed.
I think the instruction is not good.
But the SCF, the candidate is like, I don't know if this is a good change or not. That's what he said right
Oh
now.
no.
I need to read that. Okay.
You guys. Oh yeah, and then you guys had like the ominous teaser of saying that there was a secret change that could 50-50 destroy the game. You guys want to give us a hint?
아까 말한.
네. 힌트 줄까요?
네, 좋아요. 네.
어떤 거 줄까요?
글쎄 어떻게 표현하는 게 제일 좋을까요? 그냥 뭐 컨셉츄얼리는
그 시스템 이름 알려줄까요? 그거 갖고.
Faustian bargain.
Yeah, so the system so it's called the Faustian bargain. Maybe that gives some hint.
You say a Faustian bargain?
Yeah, the Faustian bargain.
Okay.
It's very, very early. It's experimental. It's gonna be very
Faustian bargain?
Yeah.
Like,
and you're gonna make this deal in the game. In a session,
so
right?
like you're gambling your life?
Maybe some.
Yeah, you're getting warm. So yeah.
근데 이건 얘기하지 않는 게 더 재밌을 거예요.
Okay.
Yeah. You're almost there, so
All right.
you'll see in 5 days. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that sounds interesting. Maybe. It sounds like a pretty big gamble.
Yeah.
Wait, am I?
It's interesting. It's definitely interesting.
We talking like permadeath?
사람들은 너무 싫어할 거고요.
No, it's not. It's not permanent.
Oh,
It's
okay.
just-
I was like, damn.
No, it's we're testing out a specific type of mechanic, and we think that this has far-reaching potential in the future. And this is just the experimental. Wow, is this really something even possible in this type of game? And for people that want to try it out, yeah, make a deal with the devil. So
Okay. People are asking if you guys could make the door closing time, like interaction speed, as slow as it takes to open them.
oh, it's slower. 그러니까 문 여는 닫는 것도.
그러면 도망가기가 되게 힘들 텐데 도망가는 입장에서 체이싱이 너무 쉬워질 거예요.
Yeah, so it's like that's what makes chasing too easy.
그러니까 맵이 좁고.
Yeah.
그러니까 PVP
Yeah, basically it
타고
keeps people from being shut out from trying to run down a Timmy. So.
Yeah, so again, this is we understand why. Like our maps are
too small.
Pretty small. It's it's like you're sometimes you feel like you're in this claustrophobic jail with a psychopath. Right? So it's like
I already asked a question about the
have
red
to
doors,
get that.
guys. If you missed it, you
yeah,
missed it.
so that's kind of
They're not
why-
changing anything with it.
Yeah.
No, make closing door slower, not faster. That's what I asked them. They just said no.
Yeah. It makes running.
Are
way
they going to
harder,
change
right?
the key mechanics? I think that's a really broad question that you're going to need significant more specificity on, my brother.
No.
What
so
about new
we're
gear?
not
We already
changing
asked
any of
about that. We already went over new gear.
The special keys we're not going to change this season. We actually kind of like the direction that it's heading in. I think again, there's some tuning that has to happen, but we like that you have to go in the dungeon and then like getting something there or doing an action there can make you change your plans within that dungeon session. So I think this is something hopefully we could start leaning into more going forward.
We already talked about quivers too, boys. Terry is now the quiver guy.
I am the quiver guy now, so season 8.
For season 8.
Yeah.
Any
it
potential
doesn't-
adjustment for Dark Offering? I think I've asked you guys about this before, but like
Right,
unless you have a ton of buff duration, like Dark Offering is worthless.
I'll go for it.
Okay, so it's gonna be changed.
Oh, you're changing Dark
time
Offering.
buff.
Holy shit! Here we go.
Yeah, you get
the buff time buff.
yeah. So the what is it?
15 seconds to
45 seconds. Yeah.
duration change.
Yeah. So the duration increased from 15 seconds to 45 seconds. Triple. Again, that's more of one of the. There's so many changes. Some of them are just number changes like that.
Increase arrow size stack.
Oh yeah, so he
Maybe,
also because the quivers aren't going in until later. At least right now, this season, the arrows are now stacked at 30.
30.
You're gonna stack them at 30.
Yeah.
Okay, so
14,
slightly bigger stacks.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So somebody had asked for 80, but I guess like something's better than nothing.
80.
Yeah, stack them to 80.
Infinite arrow.
Carry.
Ice Cavern nerfs. Dude, there's nothing wrong with the mobs in Ice Cavern. There were people like asking if you guys would nerf Ice Cavern mob like damage and density. Ice Caves is fine, dude. Just learn how to play the game.
So there's again, differing opinions internally too. I'm on your side, Onepeg. I think it's fine, but even SEO's like it's a little strong. That's what he said right now. So
Yeah, dude, I like live in Ice Cavern. That map is fine.
yeah, but then
And I'm
benefits-
trash. Like I'm garbage at this game, and it's Ice Cavern's fine.
For us, one of the things is there's a beneficial side effect of on the ice caverns with the monsters being that strong and dangerous is that it actually makes it much harder for spawn rushing. So.
People are asking if we can get helmets for like the skins that don't get helmets.
Oh yeah.
Not this time, but we planned.
Yeah. So
planned later.
So basically, what we did, during season, so we're working on organizing it to figure out, okay, is it even possible to do that? And we, maybe it's not going to be every single helmet, but like looking at it and looking at the combinations, we feel like, we could make some kind of compromise where like, half helms or whatever could fit on certain monsters.
훨씬 자연스러우니까.
Yeah, to me. Again, it's we don't have a system in place. Like, when we try to just plug and play in, things, break, right? We already broke it. It's gonna be actually we're going the opposite direction this time with a crocodilian because his snout is so long. Like, there's gonna be animations and stuff that are even more broken because of that. So it was just like, okay.
네, 근데 뭐 드워프도 나와야 되니까.
Yeah, but I mean, we have to do this because our goal is to get dwarves in the game, right? So like, so this is something we have to work on. So, but not this time, right?
Okay. There's people asking if there's going to be merchants in game, like in the dungeons, like a physical merchant
Not
that you can
yet.
go and find. Not yet.
Changes.
Dwarf skin.
Expressman in the water map.
Yeah, there's gonna be an expressman. So you can't go down in the water map.
Right.
We're experimenting, right? So again, like, with the special keys and stuff was like, hey, things that you could do in the session that you
Are
know,
you're thinking about having like an expressman that you can interact with in the water map somewhere?
go find him. He's there.
Oh shit. Okay, so he's actually going to be on the map. There you go, boys. All right, we got another piece. Can we ask for a breakthrough knockback slow bug fix to counter Sorks as fighters?
Knockback.
브레이크스루, 넉백 그거는 버그 아니야. 그냥 이제 넉백 없는 거야. 브레이크스루. 넉백 의미는 없는 거야.
Yeah, so breakthrough is knockback has no effect on break.
그러니까 브레이크스루가 예전에는 넉백 이민이 잠깐 있었는데 우리가 밸런스를 하면서 이제 그걸 없앴단 말이야.
네.
네. 그래서 그건 그냥 그렇게 유지되는.
Okay, so clarification.
Not a bug.
Yeah, it's not a bug. So breakthrough no longer has immunity to knockback now.
Breakthrough is bugged, doesn't work on knockback. That's what people are saying.
Wait, so okay, what's the bug?
They're saying it doesn't work on knockback. I don't know. I don't play a fighter, boys. So somebody's gonna have to be a little bit more.
버그 아니고 그냥 그 원래
Descriptive.
넉백 이민이 있다가 넉백 이민이 없어진 거.
Yeah, so what STS is saying is
Sork
it's a
definitely
change
knocks breakthrough back.
Yeah, and that's the intended design now.
Okay, so
Normal.
because
Previous-
sorcerers and bears can knock you back, breakthrough they're saying is bugged, but you're saying it's not bugged. They're supposed to be able to do that.
Originally, it was supposed to grant you immunity to getting knocked back, but now it's been rebalanced. So breakthrough, you could now get knocked back.
Okay.
툴팁이 그럼 잘.
Okay, so it might just be we again.
툴팁 not change.
Yeah, okay.
Oh,
So I think
thank you guys.
people are saying the tooltip.
Okay.
Tooltip is incorrect. So
The
that's why.
tooltip is wrong. The tooltip is wrong, is what they're saying. Okay.
그래서 너무
And then people are asking for there to be like an auto sort button added to the inventory.
인벤토리?
인벤토리 auto sort가 있었으면 좋겠다고.
아 그걸 하고 싶었는데 지금은 조금 시간이 걸릴 것
Yeah,
같아요.
yeah. So
원래는 되게 빨리 하려고 계획을
Yeah.
잡고 있었는데 지금은 이제 뭐
Yeah.
새로 이제
we have to. That's gonna take longer than expected. The inventory right now is semi kind of. We have to re-optimize it. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Just for, I guess, final question. What stat does Penguin scale off of, if it has any scaling?
펭귄은 그러니까 그
워터 브레스 있고요.
근데 동물들은 다 그런 거 있잖아요. 이 애트리뷰트에 뭐가 있잖아요. 뭐 스케일링.
스케일링?
그러니까 그 공간 스트렝스 뭐 펭귄은
will.
will. It's a very mentally strong penguin.
It's a very mentally strong penguin. There you go, Chad.
Yeah.
There you go. Okay. I think that pretty much wraps it up. I mean, we've been at this for almost 2.5 hours. So,
let me show about TGS things.
So,
you got stuff.
The two of us, we're going to Tokyo.
Oh, you're going to TGS, right?
메인 비스 아니고 우리는 그냥 조그맣게 가는
Yeah,
거예요.
no, so
팬들 보러.
yeah, so this is our first time going to the Tokyo Game Show. Again, we don't have our own our booth. One of our partners said, "Hey, we have some space if you want to hang out. We'll make a little space for you." So anyone in Japan, we're going to be at the Tokyo Game Show. It's going to be in the B2B area, but if you come visit us, we have little bits of swag. So here, this is.
You guys.
You have a
So we have
clown
a
button, dude?
And we have a quiver button. Yeah. If you want one of these, come visit us at the booth.
Yo! All right, that goes pretty hard. I'm not going to lie. That clown button is awesome. Holy shit.
이걸로 아마 카드 게임 그레이슨이랑 같이 할 거고요.
Yeah, Grayson, you
플레잉.
can play some card game. He made a card game.
Oh, you got a card game
이거-
too?
그냥 선물로 줄 거야. 오면.
Yeah, so just come by and then you could get
뭐 사람들 이거
little bits of swag.
한다 이렇게 생각하고
All right,
들어가는
Jet. So there you
거야.
go. If you guys are going to TGS, if anybody's going to be at Tokyo Game Show, go check them out and get a button.
근데 그 얘기는 꼭 해줘야 돼. 우리 메인 부스에 있는 거 아니고.
So we're
우리 완전
keeping
초반.
expectations super low. Again, we don't have like a main booth or anything. You know, one of our partners like, hey, we have some space here. It's gonna, you know, the
Actually 그 다른 회사
this part is something like there's like one of these fold out tables. Come hang out with us, you know.
심지어 우리 B2B 부스에 있으니까요.
In the B2B area.
Okay. I guess I got a couple of small other ones. If there's going to be any more changes to time distortion in the next patch,
Distortion.
people are asking if there's going to be a game trailer between now and when the game wipes.
Yes, but
There will be.
It's being made now. The time distortion is being
지금
updated.
보니까 그 매지컬 데미지 보너스 페널티가 조금 줄어드네요. 그리고
So it gets a little bit stronger
근데
because
디버프 시간은 조금 늘어나고.
So the debuff timer gets duration increases, but the
매지컬 데미지 보너스 페널티 is going to lower.
but the magical the penalty to your magical damage bonus is smaller.
So
Okay. There you go.
So again, there's a lot of these. There's I think over 50 of these kind of just little changes in things for the perks.
Okay.
Perks and skills.
So I mean,
You're gonna
there's going to
have
be
a
full
very long
patch
one.
notes, right? So
Yeah.
So like, we'll see the full patch notes in a handful of days. We'll be able to go through them all with a fine tooth comb and see. All right.
Yes.
So for the last couple of polls, people are saying Ice Cavern mobs hard AF. 78% said they were too hard, and then 85% of the voters, 348 people of the people in chat said remove the circle. So I don't know if you guys want to do that, but yeah. But that's just this chat, and, you know. Will you guys be offering that merch online anywhere? Is there going to be a store for it?
I don't know. 이거 우리 파는 거.
이거 파는 거 아니에요? 이건 다 주는 거예요. 네.
Just come.
There's no selling.
I
Okay.
don't even know if we have the means to do that.
Okay. Yeah, I think I mean, guys, we got to cut it off here at some point, and it's been 2.5 hours, so I think we've kind of talked it through. Thank you guys for taking the time to talk to us. Chat, I'm sorry if I didn't ask all of the questions that you really wanted to have answered, but I'm sure we'll get it figured out one way or the other. You guys have anything that you want to say in closing before we call it?
Oh, for us? Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Not chat, you guys, yeah.
Thank you guys always playing our game.
So we did a huge number on the goodwill that you guys gave to us. It's an uphill battle for us to regain that trust. So we our words again don't mean much. So
그리고 마지막 말은
we'll just do what we have to do. If you're gonna check in this, hopefully you could check in this next wipe. I think we could show you some really good progress, and we'll just keep on trying to improve the game. So, and then if it's not this wipe, then the next wipe or other updates. And so that's our big job, is to regain that goodwill. But yeah, now it's just we got to do our job.
그리고 우리는 이제 물맵, 그러니까 바다 갔으니까
Yeah.
다음에 이제 우주로 갈 거예요.
No, don't say that. Okay, and so you said now that we've gone to the depths of the ocean, the next we have to explore space.
You're going to space?
That's what he said. Yes.
For real, dude? Oh my god, dude. You guys are insane, man. Okay, so there actually were like two other small questions. Hold on. Somebody said something about chicken form for Druid not doing any healing when they use Peck. Then there was people are still there's still a few spells and mechanics in PvE mode where people can do knockbacks, like Hydra and shit can still knock people around.
He knows that.
그래서 이건 히스토리를 조금 얘기해주면
Okay.
원래 그거를 이제 이치 해결하려고 하다가 이거 너무 투 벌든돼서 우리가 이걸 좀 뺐잖아요. 그래서 지금은 풀 시스템, 그러니까 좀 쉬운 시스템으로 그걸 서포트할 방법 고민하고 있어요.
Yeah, so
너무
we know
미국을
that
이렇게 하면
that's an
좋죠.
issue. So I mean, originally we were doing like basically hard coding, stops, right? But that's,
PB를 너무 급하게 만들었으니까.
yeah, because PVE first of all it was a experimental, like there, as you know, we had an internal like we want to not. Nowadays we're kind of more settled in, but at the same time is there is overhead cost of that, and in the past we're doing all these things as it popped up one by one. Making hard-coded safety things, and we realized like this is just not going to be the way to do it. It's not sustainable. That's why that was all removed. We're trying to find a better solution, but we don't have one yet. We're looking into that, right? So we know about it. Unfortunately, it's just part of that history right now. It's like, okay, now that we have way higher confidence that we're going to keep PvE, we want to find a better solution that actually fits our resources, where we're not say, oh, okay, each individual nuisance comes out, we're making this fix, and then maybe later down the line this breaks because of another change. We don't want to do.
Okay, cool. Well, thank you guys. Goblin skin, is that still a thing?
Goblin skin. Oh, goblin skin.
We tested. 아마 우리가 확인했을 거예요. 그 드워프 테스트 할 때 좀 확인했을 거예요. 근데 아직은
Yeah. So again,
정확하게 그 스케줄로 정해진 건 없고.
왜 하고 싶은지 알아요. 그거 있잖아요. 그 밈. Pregnant.
그거는
yeah, we're not doing. Sorry, guys, we're not doing pregnant goblins, but so we did some. Yeah, we did some. So again, we want to start working on racist skins of different sizes. It's not there yet, right? So.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you guys. Can we delete Druid from the game? Is that possible? Can we just get rid of him?
Never.
That's yeah.
All right. We can keep chicken in the shit tier though, right? I mean, that's completely fine. Yeah. Druids got enough. They don't need any more. You guys are gonna get a penguin anyway. You don't get to worry about it. All right.
We understand the Druid hate too, but at the same time, it's like there's a certain type of setting and world, that they're part of this whole world vision. So yeah.
I'm only kidding, fellas. I'm only kidding. All right. Thank you guys for all your time. Thank you for being here. Thank you for taking the time. Appreciate it. And we'll talk to you later.
Thank you.
We'll talk to you later. Thanks, guys. Have a good time in Tokyo. See you later.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. There you go, boys. There you go. God, it amazes me that Druid's main concern was whether or not they could heal in chicken form when you all can cast spells to heal yourselves. At least for the next 5 days anyway, and then you're getting nerfed into the fucking ground, because if you take instant shapeshift, you can't cast shit. Get fucked, dude. You're gonna have to drink potions like the rest of us plebeians. I'll find you in the dungeon and peck your corpse. Well, that'll be a common occurrence. I die a lot, dude.